Yeah, like I think it's like 51.9.
Yeah.
49.9.
She hears the conversation.
Talking
She's
shit
like,
about
"All right."
Syria in the opening moments of a podcast.
That's just
Ridiculous.
disrespectful.
Well, Siri's little.
What is this?
Sorry, Tim Cook.
Five?
Five. We're on 5.
Number 5. Today we have on Ricky Joe.
2 guests, actually.
2 guests.
Yeah.
World record breaking moment.
This is history in the making.
This is the first 2 guest podcast?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're trying something new.
Oh,
We just created something.
Yeah, Miles.
Pioneers.
We've been trying to convince Andy for a while to hop on, but he was a bit reluctant because of some things he's scared of saying.
Yeah,
but that's alright.
It took you a little bit of time. But, I think everything should be open. Like we should be open with our opinions. And like, just to introduce you, Andy, like, some of his views might be a little bit like contrary to the common narrative, but you are self-proclaimed, right? Postmodernist, neo-Marxist, communist, Stalin, revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, anarchist,
All of it, right? All of the above, yeah. So you check all the boxes.
I'm a complete chaotic centrist.
A chaotic centrist.
Can you break that down?
Well, true. Actually, I am a centrist.
Are you? That's
Like,
an unpopular take this day.
You always say that.
I know people always hate centrists. You don't pick a side, but like
You can be a centrist. But
I like
you're not
Elon's tweet. What Ricky was telling me earlier is like I like the right Democrats and the left Republicans.
And also, I'm buying Manchester United.
I'm buying Manchester. Dude, that's actually he
Dude,
should.
that is interesting, right?
He should. Man U is going down.
I see that and I'm like, this guy's Iron Man. Like, this guy just has too much money.
If you could compare someone to Iron Man, definitely.
Yeah,
Like, who else? Who would you put at number 2 behind him? Like to be Iron Man?
Bezos.
Bezos
Bezos looks more evil.
Bezos definitely looks more evil. He looks like the evil guy from.
Dr. Evil.
But did you guys see the picture of Musk and the yacht?
He's white.
He was like
he's on Beetle.
huge,
bro.
yeah.
He looks like a robot.
He doesn't see the sun.
He looks like David Hasselhoff, like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
I think he's a new type of billionaire. Like, Jeff Bezos is the billionaire.
The classic billionaire.
Yeah, he's a character.
I wouldn't say he's a classic. I'd say the classic is probably
Warren
Warren
Buffett?
Buffett and
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Really?
This dude, Microsoft got founded in the 70s.
Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are not the same, I would say. Bill Gates is...
They're close. They got
Warren Buffett. You think Warren Buffett has his hands in
Some funky stuff.
some funky stuff?
I don't know about
I'd say
that. He
Bill
loves
Gates
just
is.
investing. Bill Gates is more into like the little weird stuff where he likes doing his own things.
Like the Gates Foundation. Like,
Yeah.
Did you guys see
What's
like,
going on over there?
that Bill Gates didn't want to like share the patent to other countries for the COVID vaccine recipe?
What COVID vaccine was he making? Who does he own that's making them?
He probably doesn't own anyone, but he's probably like
He owns
investing
I don't know.
funding.
Yeah, I don't know what company.
So
Yeah.
why does he, or how does he have access to?
But I think he like just dude, if you're that loaded, you probably have like invested into some like biotech company they were probably doing their own vaccine.
Or maybe like distribution.
Yeah.
Like
He owned like a distribution.
like probably the Gates Foundation like funds distribution in like poorer countries. Like say
Yeah.
like Sri Lanka. Right.
Isn't the really scary billionaire like Klaus, old Klaus Schwab?
Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, isn't he like a freak of nature, weirdo, reset kind of guy?
Oh, the guy
You know what I'm
of the.
Who's Klaus Schwab?
He's the guy that made
You know
the
Schwab, like
he
the-
made
the-
Oh, like Charles Schwab.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
like that's him.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No,
Like his
isn't
son
he
or
also
something?
the. He's I'm pretty sure he's German or something.
He is German
Yeah.
or Austrian. He has
The name
a
like
fake
Klaus?
Yeah,
accent.
Klaus Schwab. No, but I think he's the one that created the economic forum.
The World Economic Forum.
Yeah, he created that.
Interesting.
They were, dude. I saw a video. You guys know like Russell Brand.
Yeah.
So after that whole acting shit, he basically made a YouTube account, and now he goes on and like talks about like kind of conspiracy theories, but they're not really conspiracy theories because most of them are real.
Yeah.
So he was on one about Klaus Schwab, and he showed a few clips of this guy at the World Economic Forum, like at a meeting they had, and this guy is like just straight up talking about like the new world order. We're gonna organize the world this way. We have to become more interconnected and globalize. The shit that fucking
But-
Alex Jones is all
Yeah, I know. Talk about globalization's been happening since World War II, at the end of World War II. But what I was gonna say is, I think that's actually not happening because every country's almost rejected in a way.
Really?
It's like the United States is building now industrial plants here to curb the China supply chain. Where there's like also Taiwan. The reason why we have to deal with Taiwan is because all our semiconductors come from Taiwan.
Not the semiconductors.
Semiconductors, that's a national security risk because
Explain
all
really
business-
quick to people or 3 listeners that don't know what a semiconductor is. What's a semiconductor?
Hey, 3.
It's almost like the brain of the computer. It's just like the processor, and it's just like the chips and the motherboards.
So it's using everything from
It's the mitochondria.
It's used from like your regular computer. It's like used from your regular computer to a missile.
okay, everything.
yeah.
has fucking-
So if the U.S. loses Taiwan, and now China controls now 100% of basically of the semiconductor
the production.
Not only that, they can be selling the United States faulty chips, or they can be selling the United States chips that track what they're doing.
Right.
So then it's a national security risk in that sense that like China
That's
now
funny.
can see everything that's
That's
going
funny because it's not even like a moral thing to go in and save Taiwan or aid.
Yeah, it's like yeah, well that's what I'm saying. Like with Ukraine also it's a moral thing, but it's also there's a lot of oil that the Ukrainians discovered in the eastern
Has to
Ukraine.
help. Yeah,
Hence
American
to help. Like they want to take that oil because they know the Russians are always going to be
Lurking.
pussyfooting and lurking around. Like they don't know what they're going to be doing. So it's just like
There was also that whole thing with the. Remember the Chinese company Huawei or
Yeah,
Huawei?
phone,
Yeah. Yeah. So they tried entering the United States market,
Yeah.
and then like we just shut that down completely
Yeah.
Really?
because we were like scared that they were going to somehow bug these like whatever products that they were selling to us, like whether it be phones, tablets, laptops, TVs, whatever, and the American the average American consumer doesn't really care. They see something cheap, they're just gonna buy it and be like, all right.
Same shit with
yeah,
TikTok.
it's like what happened with
I was gonna
TLC.
say that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
TikTok is the same thing.
Oh, dude, the TikTok regulations and like the code, what is it
It's
called? The
weird.
privacy statement.
Yeah.
You know what they do in China with TikTok? The content that gets promoted and the
Is
algorithm
engineering.
favors like
Yeah.
science and engineering and math
Yeah.
and smart kids.
And
But here, bro,
They promote stupid like
dances and all that.
They promote like stupid dares.
They want to make you stupid. They want to make the American public stupid. They want to make them
It's scary, bro.
entertained by
But
dance.
so TikTok is for
We need
sure
to get China
Chinese.
for your hats. That's what we need.
No, it's a Chinese company.
Yeah,
But is it?
Tencent
Okay.
has they posted earnings, and this is their first revenue decline.
Really?
Like ever since the
Tencent?
Yeah, the company
Yeah,
that
the
owns TikTok.
Yeah,
and,
owns like
WeChat.
everything in fucking China, bro. All the digital shit.
They're going crazy.
So is that a state-owned company?
Like they're technically
Well, they don't want to say it's
state-owned, but like
Yeah, but
they're private because that company tried merging with like imagine Google and Amazon tried merging, and like the Chinese government's like fuck you.
like antitrust, like monopoly.
Yeah, they hit them with an antitrust. You're not allowed to do it.
I think that's how we're going to get to globalized world too. It's more like mergers. We're not mergers.
But that's what I'm
with
saying. You're
countries.
like the United States, like I'm a capitalist, but right now we're not capitalists in a way. We're more corporatist. Like there's there's conglomerate.
And what's the
companies
difference
that are-
between that?
we're always talking.
Well, corporatist is more like just conglomerations. It's like,
It's like tax breaks the company.
yeah, like tax break.
Like businesses run the country.
Yeah, like
You want-
they always get incentives on taxes. They always get fucking bailed out.
And how do you have a capitalist society without turning it into a corporate society?
Well, like I'd say you got to look at the bailouts one step at a time.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't
That
have
makes
bailed
sense.
out. I wouldn't have bailed out every single company.
American Airlines.
Yeah, like not even a couple years ago. During COVID, I would understand that, but 2006 or 2005, around there, American Airlines went bankrupt, and they asked the government for a bailout, and the government bailed them out.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, they bought a fucking airline company. They bought U.S. Airways.
Yeah.
So like, were you really struggling, or were you just playing some BS
Yeah.
cards and then
Yeah.
just asking the government for a bailout?
That's not capitalism.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
like consolidating the market also. Like, look at the prices between New York and Miami, New York.
This is what I was telling you. Like, Andres wants a little more like regulation when it comes to things like that.
Like checks and balances.
Yeah, like companies getting off the hooks and fucking insider trading, shit like that, right?
Yeah, and then not only that, like when people talk about like BlackRock, and I'm
Sketchy.
like, they're doing all this, but like technically it's all legal under the laws. Like they're not doing anything wrong. Like,
So how
you're
should
saying
it-
BlackRock is all sketch?
But are they
But
doing
the-
something
the-
wrong?
Like people say they're doing something wrong, but it's just like how a hedge fund wants to manage what they want to do. It's just like they're pushing their envelope because they got the most money.
Right.
So like they can do what they want, but at the same time, there should be maybe antitrust suits against hedge funds to be like, a $9 trillion hedge fund where they're literally worth that much money.
Is that how much money they have?
They have assets under management.
9 trillion.
They have around like $9 trillion.
$9 trillion.
Under management. Not their worth as a company.
Right.
Their management.
They're the
So-
biggest real estate.
Yeah, they own
owner-
shit ton of real estate.
Yeah,
Wow, what the-
they're betting on like I think they just purchased like 22,000 homes for like $6 billion or something like that. BlackRock.
Like where? Like
In
where?
America. So just
In America?
Just all around the
so, yeah,
Oh.
and
You see a lady in Vegas bought
Oh.
property of homes, like a.
She went to buy one house and she ended up signing for 84 houses.
She bought the entire like community.
Yeah, but it was like a copy paste there.
You know, one of those
I think
houses are copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Like Doral Isles.
Yeah,
type
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
something like
In
that.
Vegas,
Exactly.
she bought one house. She thought she was buying one house for like $400,000. The person who gave it, the favorite, had signed off on the contract, gave it to her with 48 houses.
What the
Crazy.
fuck? And she could pay for all of it?
No,
No,
she
they gave it to her
they
for
gave it to her for the price of
$400,000.
one house.
no way.
Oh,
They fucked up on there.
What, bro?
Yeah.
So she won. Like she could sell all those houses and just like
You millionaire.
Dude, I wouldn't even sell those houses. I would just
keep
rent.
Oh, yeah, true.
How
She
old is she?
sells-
How old is she?
I don't know how.
I don't know. Yeah.
But dude, she probably must have been like in her like mid 30s, mid 40s, maybe.
No
Yeah.
way.
She's like in her mid 60s also. That's set.
How like what do you do? You're that guy. You go back to work, and then your boss is there, and he's just like,
Well, first you're not working at that company.
You might have. I wouldn't even show up there.
"Hey, I fucked up. I fucked up."
Yeah.
I don't want to be here right now.
That's
Thank you.
crazy.
I just made a shit ton of money.
Hey, go. I want to go back to what you were saying about Tencent reporting like its first
Losses.
bad losses. What's going on? Because
In China?
I've heard a lot of
Well,
buzz.
there's a lot of economic slowdown, and like people have always complained here about our lockdowns, and like yeah, they were kind of annoying and like
Dude,
it
they're
was
still
shit
in
show
lockdown.
depending. What?
They're
Dude,
still
that's what I'm
in
saying. China, dude,
China.
you have one virus caught in a neighborhood, they lock down the entire neighborhood, sometimes the entire city. Like it's crazy official lockdowns. Like they barred people into their homes, and
Insane.
like I saw a video this morning actually. Some person tested positive in IKEA with COVID. One person, and they stopped everybody from leaving.
Oh, that's right. And they like
And
the
people
videos,
were like
people
pushing,
pointing out,
fighting,
yeah.
trying to fight the security to get out, and they were trying to stop him in the IKEA.
In
Like,
China.
hold him in there.
What the
They were gonna
fuck?
intern him in there and be like sleeping there.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
dude, like,
They're listening.
It's serious. Yeah. Like, what'd you say about China?
yeah, what did I say?
But what's happening? So the Chinese government subsidizes a lot of like construction, right?
Yeah.
For like residential, commercial properties.
I mean,
all that.
that's through like the company. What's that company?
Green.
Evergrande.
Evergrande.
Evergreen
Which
doesn't.
is-
Evergrande.
Right.
Evergrande here and then the Evergreen, yeah.
But it's looking like it's all going to shit, right?
Oh, it already went to shit.
Yeah, like, dude, China, I think over, like, you know their Belt and Road Initiative?
Their
Have you
Belt
heard-
and Road.
Have you ever heard of that? The
I think
Belt and
so.
Road that they pronounced in, like, 2015,
Rings
2014,
a
right
bell.
when, like, Xi started consolidating power?
Is that when like they thought like population was to keep growing? They just started building X's around.
Oh, no, yeah, they already built those ghost cities in China. They're
Uh-huh.
talking about, they spent, like, upwards of $1 trillion in infrastructure projects around Asia and Africa to, like, excavate their resources and other
Yeah.
like, stuff.
That's why they control like half the mines in like Africa.
Yeah, that's also why Sri Lanka also went to
To shambles.
complete shambles, dude. Like and like everything went to like shit because dude, their government couldn't afford the debt. Their debt payments, like the IMF has a debt payment of like 30 years, 40 years, at like a max cap of a 3% rate. China is like a 15-year loan for 6%. And like, dude, these countries just can't pay it. Like,
Right.
Pakistan's almost on the same route as Sri Lanka. Like, they can't pay their power plants, and they're going broke. And then China literally forcefully shuts off the power when they don't pay.
Nuts, dude.
So it's just like,
They're just like
win-win.
fake dicking them.
Yeah, they're a big dicking them.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I mean, like, so Pakistan obviously has more people than Sri Lanka. Like, at what point are they gonna just like decide, like, all right, let's raid the capital and just
Okay, but it's like
be like create, like, you know, like,
But what do they?
Well,
what do
that's
they
the thing
gain
with-
from that? Like,
well, they just like try to get the government to resign, basically.
what does that? do for them?
But here, you want the government to resign? Every single government since independence of Pakistan, their prime minister has never completed a full term.
Oh, so
Each
they're
single one of them has been, each single one has been forced like to resign because like voted no confidence.
Man,
Like they cannot. They have not completed a single thing.
Fuck.
Yeah, so
And then,
what-
like, not only that, the Pakistani government is aligning more with China, but the Pakistani military does not like China at all, and they like the United States because we used to be allies. And China now wants to build military bases in Pakistan, and the Pakistani military is trying very hard to stop that from happening, compared to the government trying to invite them.
The Pakistan and India don't get along either, right?
Yeah,
No.
because of the Kashmir.
And does India get along with China? Also,
Yeah. And like,
Do they?
it's superficial because like if you saw in 2020 they did a border skirmish in the Himalayas, like where 200 Chinese troops and like 200 Indians are like fighting with sticks and batons.
what the fuck?
Yeah, like they don't give them weapons at the border between China and India purposely because they believe like their soldiers will start shooting at each other, so they stop them from having that.
Damn.
So it's just like.
So is there like
It's a very hot border between Pakistan, India, and China, where they're all three nuclear powers.
right? Is there a potential for like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation?
Yeah, that's why China. I mean, that's why China's not liking India that much, and India's siding more with the United States.
I see.
Like, I was literally watching a video on the news from India. India released that they had met with NATO in 2019, and they've been having talks. So I'm guessing they've been having more talks after the war in Ukraine.
Probably.
what do you think is the biggest international like political threat right now, or like the biggest kind of just
Like the next big threat coming our way.
not even threat to America, just like one of the most morally like wrong things that's going on. Like you said, like North Korea, stuff like that.
I think the Uyghur genocide going on in China is kind of just that. I think right now that's the most like,
the what?
the Uyghur genocide in China right now going on. That's probably like the worst thing in the world.
I think this is kind of what we were saying before about like there's certain things like how you were saying about Taiwan. We're not helping them out of like the kindness of our heart. We're helping
Yeah.
them because
Incentive
we
based.
have some there's an incentive. The whole thing with the Uyghurs is that there's really no incentive for us to go help them. Do you know what's going on?
No.
So there's a region all the way in
So I
the
think
west of China.
Is it West?
Yeah, it's like touching
Oh yeah.
like Mongolia and all those
Yeah,
stands
yeah.
and all that shit.
Manchuria?
Basically, that's what they used to call it. And so
Mongolia?
yeah, and so there's this like Muslim group there called like the Uyghurs, and
No, it's Xinjiang, bro.
yeah, it's Xinjiang, and basically the Chinese like the Hans is what they're called is like the predominant race in China. Basically, fucking hates them. So they're basically putting them in concentration camps, like fucking stripping them of their rights, all this shit. This is all happening, and like the U.S. and like pretty much everyone else doesn't bat an eye. Yeah, there's no like we don't get anything out of it. Is that
Yeah.
right, more or less?
Well, we have taken a stance against it, but like, again, our main trading partner is China. China's main trading partner is us. Like,
How does China justify whatever's happening?
they justify it as a threat since there was terrorist attacks in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, and then they say like, oh, we need to like de-radicalize the area, and then they're doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole sketch business because now when they want to go into an Afghanistan, the Afghanis are not too keen on what's happening with the Muslims in Xinjiang, so they're like, oh, that. And then if they start, they're not learning from the Americans. They want to build bases in Afghanistan, so they're probably going to have their own terrorist threats now come to China.
That's what you were saying
Blowing
before.
up Xinjiang, yeah. I think they're going to have more things on their plate.
Didn't Disney? So when Disney shot like the new Mulan, the new like live action Mulan,
Yeah.
wasn't there a problem with the Uyghurs and Disney was like super complacent with it? Did you ever hear about that, Andy?
Repeat that?
So Disney just shot a new Mulan like a year or two ago, and I'm pretty sure there was like a problem with the Uyghurs about where they wanted to shoot or whatever. But they shot the whole movie in
No,
China.
they did shoot the whole movie. I know you know. They shot the whole movie, parts of the movie, in the province where the Uyghurs are being put in
Okay,
concentration.
but they were totally complacent with it. Like
Yeah,
when
they
there's
just went
money
they just went
involved,
along with it. They just
Right.
went along with it. They're like,
Isn't-
all right,
like, isn't
they're
that
giving us this
bullshit?
area, we're gonna shoot it.
that Disney comes out and they're like this fucking morally righteous company, like we're gonna fight DeSantis on Don't Say Gay type shit, and then fucking thousands of people are being put in concentration camps, and you're just you're recording
Yeah, I
fucking
feel
a
you,
mile
I
away.
feel you on that.
It's
But then that's where companies play that bullshit because in the United States, we always like to triumph, like we're the country of fucking freedom and talking anything you want.
Yeah.
So the companies are going to be righteous here, but then when they go to Saudi Arabia and any country where they like freedom of speech is strictly not, they're going to be like, all right, we're going to follow your rules,
Right.
and just be like, we're not going to question it. Because then they're always looking for money. But now, honestly, they don't care about China because China, regardless, has been banning Disney movies and all these other movies that have been trying to appeal to China, and they're banning them from their box office.
I'm pretty sure the new Buzz Lightyear movie got banned.
There's like a gay scene.
Yeah.
Wasn't Buzz Lightyear gay in that?
No.
I didn't get to watch it, but
his
I think
butt.
there's a scene. Yeah.
Yeah, his right hand man or the right hand woman. It sounds like a wife, I think, or a girlfriend.
Yeah. So, is there actually any like? Are we just stupid, or are we morally correct if a company and corporations are being more righteous, or
Well, yeah,
like are we just like playing into the?
But that's where you also go into capitalism. Like it's like, then do you want the government to be telling the each administration telling the companies you're going to do what we want you to do, like what China does?
No, but it's not even about that. It's like
Because there's other companies,
it's
like
also
Raytheon
sales.
and all these companies that don't give a shit.
But it's also sales, is what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
that corporations act a certain way within the borders, and because they know that that's what's popular nowadays, and it can sell if you say, okay, this is wrong, or like the don't say gays or whatever.
exactly. They follow the crowd.
Exactly, but like it's like a disconnect. It's like a disconnect that people have. There's Andrew Schultz, the comedian. He has a funny kind of. There's a funny way that he puts it. It's like in his new comedy special, he was like, "Yeah, here in America, like like we're pretty equal. I mean, this is the best place like for women to stay. Like, where are you gonna go? I mean, here, men say, well, women can drive, women can drive, women can drive." But then you go somewhere else in the Middle East, and then they really say woman can't drive. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to drive.
Yeah.
So he kind of puts it on like a comedic way, but it's funny because if feminists are arguing like, "Oh, this guy's an asshole for saying these things," it's like, okay, go to the Middle East.
Yeah. No, I get you on that. Like, but I think a lot of people that are just born in this country also are just like we're so high up on a pedestal. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
So facts.
Like
Absolutely.
Like in that take, it's just like exactly like everyone expects like perfect on time thing. Like I want this in this country, I want that in this country. Like they expect everything to be perfect. Like we're like the perfect thing about America is like it's flawed, but it's always fucking fixing itself. It's always moving on. It's
Yeah.
always fixing.
There's beauty in the flaw.
Yeah, there's beauty in the flaw. It's moving on. It's not staying rigid. Like you look at other countries, like yeah, exactly. Like women are not equal. Women, like the police, are way more brutal in other countries sometimes. Like yeah, we have brutal police sometimes, but like they get looked at. They get like shit gets fixed. Like it's not all the time where like you're in Brazil and there's always just like the crime just running rampant, mafia just walking into people's apartments killing people. And
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah. We're so comfortable. We're so
Yeah.
comfortable that it's like, fuck. We're so comfortable. What do we do now?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
we have no way of like.
It's just like we're too, exactly.
We need
Like,
to
how
create
everything
problems.
before. Like honestly, I think COVID also. It's just like our supply chain. Like people are like, oh, in the United States, like, oh, everything's bad here. Like everything's going to shit. Like this country's falling apart. I'm like, this country's honestly dealing the best out of every other single country in the world. Like every other country has higher gas prices, except obviously the Saudis.
Right.
But like every other country's dealing with supply chain crisis. Every other country's dealing with China being like locking down supreme, so that their manufacturing goes down. So then the supply chain worsens because there's less manufacturing going through China. That's why they're also building all their factories now in Vietnam, in Taiwan, in the United States. Like they're moving their manufacturing back into the U.S. So it's just like
Yeah.
we don't want to deal with like there's like I think COVID also just like shook up the realities. Like you can't be too globalized because then like one thing hicks up. Like what happened in Cairo also. With the Suez Canal.
So you guys
It's
think
locked up and like billions of dollars worth of goods got stuck behind.
So you guys think that a future looks like somewhat like how it looks like right now? There is no ultimate global world. There is no. It's not like Soviet. It's
like the only time I really see a global world is unless we honestly encounter other life.
that makes sense.
Like that's when
Well, like countries even come
that's
together.
honestly
and
when
make,
countries are
ultimate
like, yo,
effort.
we need to like, we're humans. Like we need to stop the BS. Like we need to kill these motherfuckers.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, that's
Why,
like,
why kill though?
okay, not kill. I'm saying like, but if they threaten, I'm saying if they threaten us, so like we have to represent ourselves in a body. Like obviously.
All right. I'm gonna pose a question. If the aliens were to come down or whatever, who's the representative? Who's the
Bro,
one?
no way. Like we've had this question 3 times.
No
But
way.
like out of us, it's just like everyone.
No, just anyone in the world.
Okay, without saying my answer, what do you guys think?
That's an Andy.
Can it be like alive or dead or just alive?
No, alive. Today, Alien comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, bro, you can't make something less.
Who do you vote for?
Dude, I might sound like Tom Hanks.
John.
Dude, everyone loves Tom Hanks. Like,
Yeah.
super charismatic guy. He's pretty smart.
Didn't he? Oh yeah. Didn't he get COVID and everyone freaked out?
Dude,
He
so
got
yeah,
COVID?
He got COVID right at the beginning.
So he was one of the first ones that everyone freaked out. I was like, oh shit, Tom Hanks got it. We're all screwed.
Yeah. Like if he got it, we're all wrong.
No, yeah, they're like, oh my god, a celebrity got it.
They were invincible.
Like, I thought they were chilling from the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, who are you gonna say, Andy?
I'm thinking honestly.
If it's a more political figure, probably different.
No, I would not send a single politician.
Definitely.
Yeah, like
They're all ratas, bro.
Sanjay Paul.
Maybe Musk. Musk.
Try to-
I guess
Relax.
Musk is not bad, I think, because I feel like
It's like I feel like he would actually see the weight of the situation and everything, but at the same time, like there would be like you can't just meet an alien, you can't just send up a representative. The military is gonna be right behind you with like.
Honestly,
no. They say send a representative.
more
Okay,
like,
yeah, I know, but you're gonna be like a mile down the road, but like those tanks and those planes are gonna be right behind you.
Dude, aliens come here with like they have technology. Way
Yeah,
more
I know. They're
advanced
gonna
than
be way more advanced than us. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, this is my theory. I've always like it might be outlandish, but like you know how you have like uncontacted tribes in the Amazon,
Yeah.
island,
Yeah.
in
India.
India, yeah.
I think if there are other aliens and like other species out there, it would be they are looking at us like how like a helicopter flies over. And,
Absolutely.
what is that? What is that? It's like they're just looking up. Like we see like a weird anomaly. We're like, oh, is that an alien? And then, like it was them, but like they're literally just like
They don't care about.
yeah, they don't care about us. They're just like overlooking us. They're like all these. They're so more primitive than
Like
us.
we're
Yeah.
just ants to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they just exactly. We're just so primitive. They just look at us. We're like an exhibit almost. Or they're just like that's not harming.
Or
Point.
are they harvesting us to see something?
Okay, relax.
That's where you're going. That's where you're going into the matrix.
No,
You're
you're
going into
going
the matrix.
You just said aliens exist and we're ants to aliens, okay? Alright, the
Okay,
tinfoil
yeah, I'm
hat
saying, like,
was put on 10 minutes ago.
You're looking at us, definitely. We're ants. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we wouldn't be able to comprehend them.
Or maybe it's just a flat earth.
So then, like a more technical answer, I guess would be like,
Alright, what's a conspiracy theory you hold?
It's a conspiracy.
To put my hat back on.
Dude, the conspiracy theory we were all on about a few years
tinfoil
ago
hats on.
was remember Pizzagate?
Yeah.
Remember
No,
that? Dora and Tony and these motherfuckers are always talking about
They
that
actually
shit.
believed it?
Like, I don't know.
Probably to some extent.
Like
What was the Pizzagate thing? What was it?
because they believe that all these other
I feel
politicians.
like we can get banned for that
Where-
shit from Spotify. We can just talk
Yeah,
about
this
pizza.
is.
It's when like
Should we change topics then?
the
Yeah,
traffic-
I think maybe.
Hey, we'll change conspiracy.
change
Well,
topic.
I had something I wanted to ask Andy. Or no, to just put it out.
Let's go back to
We were
Mac.
talking-
Yeah, let's get it back on. Let's get it
Talk
back
about
on.
football and guy stuff. That's what.
Yeah, real talk. When we were talking about like how good we have it in this country, and how people are like looking for problems because we have it so good. So if you look at history, and we can ask Rod about this tomorrow. If you look throughout history, every like big empire has fallen. Right? They're around for a few years. Everything gets great. Everybody's comfortable, chilling, and then it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
Let me
Could
guess.
that be what's
You're gonna say the United States is like
Yeah.
like, bro.
Here's an interesting thing, like what a catalyst could be for that if you're seeing it right now, like
TikTok.
dude, no, social media in general.
Yeah.
Because like if you think about it before, like in like war times, let's say in like the Civil War, like the fight for independence, like you couldn't just say your opinion and then like from like Florida and then somebody in like the North like knows it.
Yeah.
You literally have to
I
go,
literally
like-
had my it's like calling someone. I'd just
exactly.
yeah,
Like right now, I could
talking.
tweet something and like somebody in California like sees it in a second.
Yeah.
Like just like the ease of information like that's transferred is at an extreme level that's never seen before in like humanity, which is just like all right, like damn, like is this going to lead to our downfall? The fact that we're communicating so much and that like ideas from like one place are getting put into another place, like it's just like I don't know.
Okay, but
So,
is that a bad thing? Because everyone.
I mean, I think
gets
there's a good and bad to it because you know like for like, let's say like you want to build like a company and you need like people in Asia and you want to make like start over there and you need to transfer of ideas, whatever. Like that's the good part of it. And the bad part is just like really saying like stupid shit again. So man, like
it's easier to
like,
propagate
chat,
stupid ideas.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with like bots and people getting into social media in different countries.
It's the whole thing with Twitter right now going on too. Like,
Well, that's how you see, yeah.
yeah, it's like
I always click on an account and it's like, made recently.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So like 3 days ago, we posted a clip on Instagram where we were talking about crypto.
Yeah, we got hella bots on it.
Dude, and just a ton of bots started commenting. Advertise your stuff here.
Oh,
and
no, yeah.
This is so cool.
But
like
those
it
are
comes from
obvious. Those are
fucking
so obvious. You can
Absolutely.
tell bots.
That's my point. You go in and it's like, did you see a picture of a giraffe, picture of a family, a picture of a garden? None of it makes sense. There's no bio. None of it's coherent. It's
Yeah.
like, you're not fucking humans. You know?
It's like they're not even trying to fucking make it real.
It's scary, man.
Just volume. They want to have a bunch of followers. Like, because nowadays the currency is that. Like, if you have thousands of followers, you have the credibility right there on the spot, and you can buy that.
Wasn't that one of the problems with like Elon buying Twitter? That he
He
wanted
was talking
to.
about the bots. He wanted to know how many
What-
bots.
well,
what
like
was that?
apparently like so Twitter when Elon was making the purchase or like the official offer to buy like 54.20 was it? Yeah, I think it was like 54.20.
Yeah, 54.20.
Just a little 420 because Elon gives no shit.
Oh, no, I thought it was 69.20, but I might have been.
Maybe.
Nah, it's
But
50.
Something like Elon mean to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, like, so Twitter basically said we have X amount of bots, but then, like, through formal review, like, going on in the courts or whatever, like, through Elon's attorneys, they realized, like, oh shit, like, Twitter has way more bots than what we thought. So then he's like, all right, like, I'm backing out of this deal because you guys weren't, like, truthful about the information, whatever. And now it's the whole thing that it's going to court, and like, they sped up the court date because basically they just want to fight the fact that if Elon's going to buy this company for X amount, whatever it is, they want to know how much bots are on like the platform because then he's going to offer a lower amount. Because if you're saying you have 60 million followers, 60 million
Bots.
like users, let's say, just a smaller amount,
users.
60 million users, you're going to pay for like 60 million users. You're not going to pay for like 40 million users and 20 million bots.
Right.
That makes
Right.
sense.
It lowers the worth.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it devalues the company and like what you want to like pay for it.
that makes sense.
And so,
Like, he's also another thing. He's so tied up in so many other things. Like he has to sell so much other assets that he has just to buy Twitter. Like I'm pretty sure like of his own money and going into the Twitter deal, I'm pretty sure it's like maybe 20 billion, and the rest is just being financed by other banks. I'm pretty sure like the largest financiers like MUFG, shout out Tommy,
How many?
friend that works there, and then like other like different banks that are just like I know MS is a big one, but like point is like, yeah, like why is he gonna pay so much if there's so many bots in?
so did he pull out of that deal already?
So he tried pulling out of the deal, but then Twitter basically just said, "Hey, you can't pull out of the deal already. Like, you're the buyer, like this and that." So that's
They
taking
didn't
it
want to
court.
sell it
They're
to begin with.
so they're suing Elon to make sure he buys the company at
Yeah, they're
amount.
suing him to buy the company.
But they couldn't prove that. Like they couldn't prove how many bots they have, right? Isn't that one of the issues?
So that's
But
what
he's
he's
not, yeah, but that's good because now they're taking it. Like now that they take him to court, they have to disclose
like
He's gonna-
what's
he's-
actually
he's
going
gonna
on
say-
in Twitter like, system.
Yeah,
The court
they're gonna
will
make that
decide
public
if he
inf-
can pay X amount. Or
And that'll become public information.
So
That'd be
my
interesting to see.
exactly. So my guess what's gonna happen is Elon's gonna win for sure, like 100%. Just like Twitter definitely like said, there's like way more bots than there are right now. So then the court's gonna like make a ruling that they have to like lower the asking price, and then Elon's gonna buy Twitter for like not pennies on dimes.
Can't they just
But,
get
like-
rid of bots?
But he also had to sell. He sold another $7 billion
In Tesla stock,
just in
yeah.
case now he has to buy Tesla.
Which it makes sense. It's like the safe because you never know how the courts are gonna go. Like,
Yeah.
Why-
You never know how
why
the courts are
can't-
gonna go, but low-key, I hope he wins Twitter so
Yeah.
that he can buy Man United.
Why can't Twitter?
I really want to.
What's the problem with Twitter just getting rid of these bots? Why can't they do it?
I think they can, but it's just like such a mitigating process. Like they got to deal with like continue. Because like I feel like bot accounts get like you delete 5,
10
come
pop
up.
up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
isn't there software and AI for that?
Yeah,
They
but like
should have that.
Or-
It's 2022.
Also, ad
Or
revenues.
bots aren't that bad for Twitter. You know?
yeah, like, they don't mind it because then they pump it up.
MBS and whatnot.
They pump it up. They pump it up on their earnings.
No, but also think about it in ads. If a company comes to Twitter and wants to advertise on their platform, and they say, "How many users do you have?" Like if they say they have way more users, like yeah,
Yeah, but the company
that's
should
also
be
the
smart.
point.
That's a double-bladed sword, bro.
No, of course, no. Of
That's
course
the problem. They're going to lose a lot of ads
Yeah.
once it becomes public that they have
Right,
like
but
30 million. 20
Whatever
million,
company is
whatever.
advertising on Twitter should be smart enough to know.
Yeah, but
10% of Twitter's users are bots.
yeah, of course. But like,
Someone's got to keep an eye on who's
Okay,
actually
but you
doing
still
the
advertise
due
on
diligence.
Instagram and you see how many bots are on Instagram now.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying it should come into play. Like, it should be a factor that whoever's advertising is aware of. I like what
yeah.
you said though about like maybe there is some benefit to Twitter that they have so many bots. What
Well,
percentage
they're
of Twitter is
That's
owned
what
by
I'm
like
saying.
the South?
The only benefit they would have is
that's an interesting
reporting.
question. Probably like,
Or also push narratives.
Oh yeah,
Did-
push narrative.
did you see
yeah.
the dissident-
I don't think they're the ones that control the bots. If
you
they're
see
the
the
ones that control the bots, that they're gonna get fucked.
Oh, the owners, the ownership.
Yeah, with the ownership of the company, but they can still get tied up in like some BS. Like,
So you're saying right now
they'll
that it would
conjure
be
up some
wrong
law
for
and
an owner of a huge corporation to do something a little fishy.
Oh yeah, obviously they're doing a little fishy, but like so
Unheard of.
they do that
How could they?
to establish
Yeah.
companies. They're probably more they give them a slap on the wrist, but the tech companies are usually way more like strict with tech
But
companies.
what's
than
way
they are.
more strict?
Like Theranos, like she defrauded investors and she made a tech bio startup, or like how her machine can read every single blood type and like can do every single blood test within a little machine, and like it would literally revolutionize the whole blood industry and like make like testing on poor countries like super easy to get everybody like help and all that. And then there was a whole fraud, and then she and her like lover, some Indian guy, also got arrested and like they're charged with like defrauding the company and investors of like millions of dollars.
But what did you say that's different from like the tech companies we're talking about, like Facebook, Twitter,
it's on a different level. of
like
course.
Amazon,
Yeah.
Google?
Yeah,
stuff like that?
they're on different levels, but like
So that's definitely different from a blood testing.
the one company I honestly don't think the U.S. will ever touch, like maybe here with an antitrust, is Amazon, and
Why
like
not?
own until Tencent.
Dude,
Until
that's
10
dude, Amazon's just buying.
I
companies
know, but
left
the
and
thing
right.
is-
wait until they
the
buy
thing is-
a company of actual like worth. Dude, the U.S. is
the
gonna
thing is-
slap a huge
I
antitrust.
know, but they might hit it with an antitrust. But the thing is, if Tencent keeps dominating the way they dominate, they are not gonna hit him with an antitrust
No.
because they're gonna have to have
No
Amazon
competition.
compete
Yeah.
against Tencent to fucking throw 10 cent on the
Dude, so do you think?
Because if they then antitrust Amazon, Tencent has the fucking road to pave everybody over.
But doesn't Tencent have like a winning hand there just because they have the whole backing of the actual
But the
Chinese
government
government
won't.
because they're in it?
Like maybe the government might bail them out, but like they're still like they operate like almost like a private company still. So like they're doing their own stuff. Like they're doing their own operations, like their own stuff. Like they got hit with an antitrust to merge, but then now they bought a hospital. They bought a hospital company for like $2 billion.
What the fuck? $2 billion or yen?
$2 billion.
Isn't the yen going to shit? That's another one.
That's a Japanese yen.
Yeah.
The Japanese yen has been going,
Okay.
but Japanese yen's always been like, kind of pretty inflated and bad,
Okay.
even though they're very advanced, which is obviously kind of crazy.
Is the fiat currency the end all of currencies, the best currency, or do you think one of these cryptos?
Here's my take on crypto.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's my take.
Do you guys do this conversation a lot? The crypto.
We've had it like twice
Yeah.
yesterday. We didn't talk about.
We haven't talked about it, like the structure of crypto and if it's a better
like
currency.
blockchain. I like.
We-
Yeah,
we-
but-
Are you a big blockchain guy?
Dude, I mean, I see its value. Like, I don't want to say I'm like bearish on crypto and like blockchain technology, but like,
What would be
I
the
think,
title? When you're not a bull or a bear, what are you?
dude, a centrist, like, get
centrist,
back to this
like-
point. You know, like, I don't know.
No, but I think, yeah, I'm centrist, I guess, on this take, where I'm not bullish or bearish on it. But I think the technology, the governments are going to adapt to that technology. Because the Federal Reserve is already looking at it and all this shit. They're going to adapt to that tech.
So it's like, what USD going to become like? You tap your phone, like you have USD like
But
loaded.
then it becomes centralized.
It's going to
again.
be,
It loses
yeah,
its
but they're
appeal.
going to have, like,
Take that
It's
coin,
kind of
like-
doing that already. It's kind
they're
of
going to...
centralized.
With the
They're gonna
apps.
do that shit, but they're gonna either test it out because, dude, the thing is, crypto can never honestly take over. Because if you literally look at the chart of crypto compared to the S&P 500 or the Dow, they go exactly
They go
the
hand in
same,
hand,
like
yeah.
they hand in hand. Bad news comes, Dow's dropping. You're gonna see Bitcoin and Ethereum skyrocketing down. Like they're going to be sinking. Like if they literally correlate with the market, interest rates hit 75 basis points last meeting. The market went up. They loved it. Ethereum and Bitcoin went up as they loved it also. Like it's just like they're like a commodity now. Almost. They're like oil or gold. They're like literally just traded like that now. It's just like I don't think you can ever hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can buy and sell.
I think NFTs are a little bit of a scam.
NFTs,
I get the whole the value of like the smart contract, which yes makes sense, fair, but at the same time, like, you're just buying a JPEG for like some amount.
It has zero
One of my
value.
favorite things is
It has
watching.
zero value.
One of my favorite things is watching people like they'll post whatever NFT that they just bought, and then all the comments their profile pictures will have the screenshots of the NFT. But I think that's one of the concerns though about crypto. It's like currency is definitely something that divides like boundaries and borders.
Yeah.
You know, so if you do want to aim at like a globalized society, then
Crypto would be the sense. Yeah.
But do we want a globalized society? Like, what is that a good thing overall? Will more people benefit from that than not?
I think
probably they would.
Why?
yeah.
Because then, I don't think everything should be globalized, but in a sense, like, if we had power grids that were globalized, then let's say a hurricane happened or some shit happened, or like a power like failure happened in some fucking city, automatically they can help divert power to that city. They can help divert resources. Like oil then would become a very stable priced commodity at like $35 a barrel probably.
Well, yeah, because you'd have more people.
All the
with
countries
aligned
that have
interests.
oil, and there'd be zero interest in in invading other countries.
Yeah.
And all the countries that have oil would have like an agreed settlement. Like, all right, $35 a barrel.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause I think there comes a point where you're just like, okay,
like that's almost utopia, but like again,
It
utopia
is.
is almost unreachable. So it's like, and there's humans that always have greed, and there's like there has to be a huge checks and balance.
there has to be a point where some people believe that like war is just inherent of just human nature and stuff, but there might be a point where we might say like, okay, well, maybe we could just talk things out. Maybe we don't have to like send humans to like.
Yeah,
die.
I always think. Yeah, there's always a group that always wants to fight because like you look at a war like when it happened in Ukraine, you saw people that were like, I'm not gonna have any dialogue, like the United States and like the British were like, I'm not having any dialogue. I'm sending fucking weapons to Ukraine and I'm helping them.
Yeah.
And then France was like, let's have some dialogue with Russia. Like Germany was like, I'm sending weapons, but let's have dialogue.
Yeah,
like
Germany's like, let's not be too mean to Russia.
Yeah, Germany upped their military budget by $100 billion now. They had $100 billion.
It's like what, like 4 to 5% GDP, something like that.
Yeah. Now all NATO countries have reached 2% GDP or over.
Yeah,
Like they're all crazy over now. They are rearming.
yeah.
Guy's roommate in
Yeah,
Paris.
and now, like no, there's 300,000.
And also, there's another thing plays into that too. It's like how much do the European countries want to depend on the United States? Because like now, for example, Germany's upping like the amount they're spending in their country, which means like the U.S. doesn't need to like provide that much support. How much money does the U.S. taxpayer dollar provide for
But
Germany
the United
support?
States-
Which like
The United States, low key, does love. Dude, the one thing
I'm
our
not
power,
saying they love
our
it.
power stays good is because we have 85 military bases around the world. Right? We can project our power at any place at any time. Like how when we killed that Al Qaeda leader or Taliban leader the other day, like a month ago.
Yeah.
Dude, that's when China was pulling their little BS saying we're gonna shoot down Nancy Pelosi's plane. We killed that guy. Dude, we literally just basically did what like if China sent a drone over Mexico and killed the narco leader.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we just showed up like, bro, we are half across the way around the world and we just killed someone in their goddamn apartment.
Should we be poking the bear though with the whole China and Pelosi thing?
I think we should.
You think we should poke the bear?
I think we should be poking the bear.
What do
I
we
was
gain
glad
from
that
poking the bear?
she didn't.
Are we poking the bear? Or are we the bear?
Dude, yeah, but there's another
No.
bear.
We're the eagle. We're always the eagle.
We're the eagle.
They're always the
But the
bear.
bear's waking up, dude. Why are we poking him so much?
Bro,
No, they
I don't even want to go into historical.
Why are we listening to him, man?
What?
Like, why do we poke the bear? Like, what do we gain?
Why are you listening to who? Me?
No, China. Bro.
Well, we don't
Ricky's
listen.
saying China is saying poke me.
Oh,
why
yeah.
are we?
The whole
Why
time
are we
one
doing
shit
it?
going,
Okay, but like that's what I'm saying. Like we gotta flex our muscle also, and not only that, we gotta like back other countries. Like the point in us backing Ukraine is so that now we have a secured ally, and also they're gonna be battle hardened.
But that's different from what I'm saying.
It's like how China does the Pakistan and all these other countries. They want to secure and have puppets, basically.
That's different because Ukraine was invaded and that makes Ukraine a victim, and we're being nice, we're being an ally.
Okay, but
that's different.
we're
Taiwan, as of right now, is
But
chilling
Taiwan,
like a villain. Why are we
now.
flying over there to poke the bear?
because Taiwan used to be the main China. And then after we opened up China in the 1970s with Nixon, we started changing everything. And then by 2001, the Chinese were applying to join the World Trade Organization. And then everybody in the United States was like, yeah, sure, let them join. And then their exception was kick out Taiwan. And one of the only few people that has always stood their ground against China was Nancy Pelosi, where she's like, fuck China. Keep China, keep Taiwan in the World Trade Organization, and they're like no, and they kicked out Taiwan and they brought in China. But like the United States has always like unofficially supported Taiwan since like day one. That's why when Trump became president and he accepted the call of the Taiwanese president, they was super much heat with China because they're like, oh, why are you accepting the call of the Taiwanese president? Like that's a rogue nation. Mm-hmm. Like when the president has never like talked to a Taiwanese person.
And you know, now that you say that on Nancy Pelosi, I think I have my answer for who I'm sending to the aliens.
Oh my god, no.
Send Paul Pelosi, send Paul.
For the most
Send the D,
moronic-
send the
Dude, is there any question about how they're invested in you know,
I think no,
I think
he's
they're the
definitely gonna
most.
get charged.
They're the what is it like? Nancy Pelosi's
insider?
stock
She will get
portfolio
charged
is the
with
most
insider
successful.
But no. The reason why she's not being charged with insider trading is because she's right now in government. But like, have you not seen all these other
Like a
people that
Hillary
retire?
scenario? Like,
Yeah, like once you retire, they investigate the fuck out of it.
Oh, so you think they'll?
So that's why she doesn't want to retire. She probably wants to die in office. The second she
like, I'm
retires,
retired.
the second she retires, they're going to investigate it for insider trading.
So why don't they do it now that she's in the
But
government?
it's like technically she's in the fucking government, so it's like
they don't
What's
want
the difference?
It's like
they don't want a
still-
scandal. They don't want a scandal.
no, but it's like they don't want a scandal as like a sitting person. It's like with the president, like they didn't give him a sitting scandal. They weren't gonna raid the White House is not gonna be raided, or like Mar-a-Lago's not gonna be raided right after.
Also, with the
Trump
same
took
like
over.
Democratic president, like
Bro, Trump is as famous as he was while he was president. He still has his cult following. As many people listen to the news of Trump now as they did 3 years ago. What's the
I
difference?
want DeSantis to be.
he has no power.
Trump?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, but
he has no actual.
No,
power.
but the thing
how
is-
do you think Mar-a-Lago just got raided?
he was
Okay.
at home.
Hey, he wasn't home.
He has a rat. There's a rat inside of
No,
his
listen,
fucking...
that was
But
probably
the-
negotiated.
But the
like, 100%.
FBI raids everyone. They raided everyone. They go after everyone. They raided Hillary in their servers. That's
So
how
why
got
don't
in
they
there,
fucking raid
right after
Pelosi?
she left. Because she's still in government. Hillary had left the government, and that's when they raided her house.
Buddy, if you're doing something illegal, they shouldn't give a fuck if you're in government.
That's why Nixon resigned instead of continuing to get
Politics is a
impeached.
crazy world. Remember that.
Politics of Fugazi.
Dude,
Exactly.
It's to save face.
I think that goes full circle to what you guys were saying earlier with the antitrust laws. It's like, yeah, we have corrupt corporations, but then the people who are, you know, checking on these corporations are corrupt themselves. So it's like, fuck.
Whoa.
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree with almost everything, like 75%. But then the ending, I was gonna say we have to have sometimes these like shit corporations because we have to compete globally.
Wait, why
It's
were you pointing at me?
Because it's like how we talked about a necessary evil sometimes.
Oh.
Where,
What's the
like,
necessary-
I
like
want
a
to ask.
necessary evil. I was like, you have to have like
Yo.
you have to allow some evil to happen. Like you sacrifice the few to save the many.
So,
Like
what,
sometimes like you might have to pull some shit where some people die or some people get sick or something happens. But it's like
Now he's starting to sound like a communist. Now he's starting to
it's not like it's like
Capitalist.
it's like
No, it's
capitalist.
not.
It's like
Let
capitalist.
me do the revolution because
It's
that
like-
no, I think Ricky's right though. Watch this. This is the original question I had asked Andres when we started talking about this. He picked me up from the airport a little while back and we were talking about it. In the late 80s, okay, in Colombia, So there's basically a terrorist group called FARC, which is the Armed Revolutionary Forces of Colombia. In the late 80s, they got their people together, they got organized, and they got basically to form a legitimate political party called, I think it was UP, the Patriotic Union is what they were called. Basically, the people that liked them was like 70% of the country, which was uneducated, illiterate, campesinos, or like farm people. Okay. So right before the elections, a bunch of their top leaders mysteriously died. And by mysteriously died, I mean
That's the have.
people on the right that are opposite to these communists hired someone to fucking get rid of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is that necessary evil okay? Because the alternative to that is 70% of your country voting for them and it going to a communist shithole like the rest of South America? Or is it, do you do real democracy and let people vote and not kill everyone? Is that necessary evil okay?
Dude, that is such a tricky question.
I definitely don't.
That's what I'm sticking
personal
to. I
bias.
have more of a...
Right, but
I mean, God, I don't even know, man.
see,
Like,
that's a fucking nuts question. If you say democracy,
My original one was the Catalunya, where
that was another.
where the Catalunya vote was happening, and they stopped it, and they arrested the people, and they did some disinformation. Like there, I understand because if the country is literally getting ripped apart, you stop that immediately. Like you have to stop that. Like that's federal government shit. Like, you have to stop.
But why
Like
not?
Texas or California one, you see?
God.
Do you know
The
what-
Texas California movements, the Tex exit and the Cali exit, the ones when they wanted to leave in 2016 when Trump became president.
California wanted to leave?
You're like, they were like, oh,
Well, there's like, you know,
they wanted to leave.
there's
There was
like
a movement. There
all
was
the
a
people all the
movement.
way to the right. They're just like, oh, wait, Texas should become its own state.
Yeah, like people on the right,
best
wanted
state
to
in the
Texas,
union.
you know, like, they should become their own state again. And then
people like that
California were like, we should leave the United States.
There's people
Both
like
of
that in
those,
Cali too.
both of those were funded by the Russian government. They love causing shit. Like they funded.
How
like,
do they? What do they fund that through? How do they? What are they paying for?
They pay through like fucking
Right,
backroom organizations. They pay through backroom organizations and they pay through bots. Like how they
What
did
are they
with
paying
the
for, though?
2016.
That's why
I'm
Twitter is
an
bots.
extremist and a Texan separatist.
Like there's a lot of Chinese and Russian bots on Twitter. I
But
always see
what do
it.
they pay for? The Chinese government gives me $100. What do I do with that?
You go and you start creating an account and you just start
You make a
spamming-
Facebook group and then you make an event and then you use that to whatever, like for signs, promotion, whatever.
Yeah.
Just to
Marketing.
make more
Yeah,
fiction.
yeah.
and
You
more-
get a hundred.
Just to get the word out.
If it's a person in the United States, yeah, exactly. You get $100, like $1,000. You get signs, you get stuff. You post on it. You make an account saying like, oh, pro
Facebook
California
ads.
exit, all that. You know, BS.
I see.
Yeah.
What was your point with that? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying like sometimes it's a necessary evil because it's like it's a foreign country interfering, trying to make you unstable by telling Catalonia to leave, telling Brittany and France to leave, telling
Okay.
what's it called, Bavaria and Germany to leave, telling what happened in Ukraine, Donetsk and Luhansk, were literally Russian-funded separatists that rose up when the election happened, and then the president got kicked out with the riots in Kiev.
I don't know. It's a fine line
Like,
to walk.
they are,
on.
like, and the
It's
Ukrainians were way weaker, so they couldn't handle that. And the military at the time in 2014 was weak.
So you think the necessary evil is okay and
Sometimes to
necessary.
stop like an independence movement within your own country, yes, because
Yeah,
it's
I can get behind that too.
like it's
What
detrimental.
about the killing people thing though? Because that the one
That's different. That's
But
different.
wait, just to ask, like, why would it be a necessary evil if you get there by logic and rational?
the thing
rationalization?
he's bouncing off of
pushing
a
it
thing
along,
that happened
so
in
is that evil?
2017.
Yeah, but why wouldn't that logic and rationale resonate with people if, unless you're assuming that most people are, which we can debate that, are irrational,
Yeah.
then I would just say, like, yes, if you have, like, right now nobody's debating, it's okay to kill people, like, randomly, right? Because everyone, like, inherently just rationalizes towards that. So, like, why, it's almost like the debate about should you hit your kids, like, to discipline them.
Oh my god.
I'm saying, like, to discipline.
Yeah.
Is it okay to, like, I was disciplined. I was definitely hit when I was
Yeah,
young.
a little.
Okay, but like, yeah,
Is it a
there's
necessary
always-
evil?
There's always an extent to that. Also, that's what I'm
But
saying.
it's like saying no, because it's like, can you?
Because there's necessary evil and then there's just pure evil.
No, that's not
So
pure
what's
evil.
what's the line between necessary?
It's not.
I'm saying pure evil might be necessary evil. In my opinion, would be what happened in Catalonia and all these other countries, and then I think
Oh,
maybe-
Catalonia's not a country.
Sorry.
Ah.
I'm saying in Spain, Catalonia, like, and then what happened in Spain. But I'm saying how in then Colombia, that's more kind of leaning into the evil aspect. Like I would do because like by that point, like I would maybe like before the election, I would try to like rationally, me trying to be a man of civic duty. I would be.
You're not gonna
I would
convince
try to
70%.
No, not the 70%. Not the 70%. I would
All
just.
people just want
I would
government
just
money.
pass more laws to enforce that checks and balances would be enforced
Okay.
in the government.
That's doing it.
It's like-
But that's the
because
thing.
because
The checks and
you can't
balances
get-
are being
because
enforced.
You can't get mad when a political party always takes over because you're always going to be a loser at one point with your political party. Your political party is not going to always be winning.
That's fine.
Or then you're going to be in China and Russia where they're always winning every election.
That's fine.
Like, that's a one-party state.
That's fine. But this
You're
isn't.
going to be a loser sometime.
But this isn't Democrats being Republicans. This is comunismo coming to your fucking country.
But were
It's
they
what's
all
happening.
communists? Were they funded by the Chinese and the,
They were
and the Russians?
funded by the FARC, bro.
Funded by the FARC.
This is a revolutionary, Islamic terrorist leftist group.
Okay, but didn't that killing also spark the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
I mean,
So,
basically,
like,
the whole 90s were a shit show in
Yeah.
Colombia.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So, like, it's almost like
is it
what
necessary?
happens if you just let them win one term and they lose, and then they do like shit and then they lose?
Okay, and if they don't, and your whole country plunges into 30 years of
Okay,
no
but then
money,
also-
inflation, fucking...
You could have expected the United States would have shown up at one point.
United States hasn't shown up in Venezuela?
Okay, yeah, but that was back then. In the 1980s, Grenada became communist, and Reagan literally invaded them within a month of them becoming communist.
You can't compare Grenada, that's the size of fucking Key
Okay,
Biscayne.
but
to, Colombia. Come on.
I
man.
think okay. Now, I'm going into, I don't even want to diverge because I'm going to go into Panama and Noriega because we used to prop up Noriega.
What is that?
Noriega,
Yeah,
president of Panama.
Oh, what about
He was a fucking drug dealer, like one of the biggest.
He was also the bank.
But-
He was the bank for every cartel that's ever existed.
You wanna talk-
You're funding drug
You
dealers
wanna talk about
in Central
necessary-
America to overthrow the
But you want to talk about necessary evil? We had a guy in Burma, or Myanmar now, Burma, whatever you want to call
Burma
it.
back then, yeah.
Yeah, well, Burma back then, but they like calling it Myanmar now.
Yeah, more.
And then we had this guy. He was a drug lord, and he would sell. He used to be the main guy, like the first guy that would be trafficking drugs internationally. And this guy was backed by the CIA. And the only reason why we cared for him was because he was right on the Chinese border, and we had no spy planes over China. So we would use him as like an intel source. So that is like a necessary evil where like, yeah, he would be selling heroin inside the United States, and the DA would be catching him and try to catch him. And then the CIA would be finding out. They'd be like,
Pipe down.
no, they wouldn't be like, pipe down. They'd be like, yo, they're coming after you. Go to another city. And then eventually the CIA got enough intel, and they're like, all right, we're done with him. And then the DA started catching everyone. They stopped getting intel from the CIA to stop leaving cities, and then they got arrested, everybody, and then the whole operation ended.
Isn't that the same thing that happened with
That's what
Osama?
happened with Osama.
Like this. He was
Okay, but
CIA
Osama betrayed us.
We ended
It's
up.
like, it's like with Noriega.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like Noriega, we were using him, and then he betrayed us.
What did
Osama
he-
betrayed us in a way worse way.
What did Noriega do? Like, why was he?
Because he was part of the drug trafficking, and he would give us intel on the drug traffickers, and then he would just take a
Like
take
Escobar,
credit.
let's say, maybe not him, but
I think no, Escobar did go to Panama a
Yeah.
couple times. He
Yeah.
was saying Panama.
he just had all his money in there, like the money that he could put in there. Just 'cause-
Isn't Panama like a drug or
Like,
a money
how Miami,
laundering?
like
kind
Panama is like Miami as a country, where
okay.
illegal, shady money comes to go.
And people just look to the other way.
Yeah, look the other way. That's how Panama City looks like Dubai.
I want to go.
has like that Trump building. It looks like the one.
Yeah. My parents have been to like one of the big buildings. They're all huge. They're all like.
I want to visit Benji, bro.
Shout out Benji.
Shout out Benji.
Shout out
Seems like
Rob. Shout out the Panamanians.
Seems like a
Dude,
state.
shout out Rob. Facts.
Oh,
Yeah, have you met Rob, though?
Rob. No.
Dude, Rob is such a good.
One of our boys I go support. I don't think you would have met him.
Wait, so is
Maybe.
he going back to New York with you guys this fall?
Yeah, he should
And
be.
who's he living with?
I think he's just gonna be living in the city by himself.
In the same apartment?
No, I think he has another.
I'm in the
I
same.
haven't spoken to him, but
Yeah, no.
yeah, that's right. You are, man. Wow, with that hat, you look very
French.
no, not French. I want to say like militant. Like yeah, turn around. Yeah, you look like you have one of those like berets.
Yeah, the berets.
Yeah.
I'm a captain in a makeshift militia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys think you want to go to New York after school? Let's get a little out of the politics.
A little out of politics.
We've
All
been
right.
going crazy.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna go back into politics.
Background. We both go to
We're going back into politics.
background. We both go to school in New York at Fordham
Fordham.
University. And
Go Rams.
Back around an hour in. Like, by the way, also, Andres.
just making sure that people know where we go to school and our
You
ties.
wanna give him our address also?
I mean,
You
maybe.
wanna give my social?
DM on the Instagram account,
it's,
$5.
uh,
We'll
five,
give you the
You wanna give where we live, where the podcast is right now. You wanna know the location?
Then they know
Chris
enough.
lives in Manhattan and Ricky lives in the dirty ass Bronx.
Listen, I lived in Manhattan last semester, so cut me some slack.
Anyway, so what's the deal? Do you guys think you'll want to do another few years there?
I think you're-
Okay, I would maybe want to stay in New York maybe a little longer, but
Yeah.
the thing is, like, yeah, you get paid more, but all that goes into the expenses of your rent, the city tax, the state tax, the federal tax, your living expenses, buying a $35 vodka martini at the bar of the club,
God, it's horrible.
like
and you're and a $25 lunch.
the $25 lunch, $30
that.
lunch minimum.
But here,
Minimum.
like the counter to that is like Miami. All right, maybe it's not a $25 lunch; it's a $20 lunch.
Okay,
Rent,
yeah.
rent, a little bit down because now rent's going
getting
crazy.
there.
in
Rent
Miami.
is going nuts, dude.
Yeah, I know.
know,
Rent,
like-
rent is definitely lower in Miami.
But Miami
You don't
quality
pay,
of life is
you don't pay
better.
city, you don't pay city tax, you don't pay state tax.
You have a
Quality
better
of
quality
life
of
is
life
better.
in Miami, though, dude.
But is that that's subjective? Quality of life better.
Okay, what do you like? What do you prefer?
Because people
I'm
like
in the Upper
whole
West
vibe.
Side and I have that's a great quality of life area. And like,
Dude,
I have a
I
good
know.
time, but like sometimes I'm like, dude, it's the winter and I want to leave. I want to be
Dale,
in
bro.
Miami.
On a
I
boat,
want to see
dude.
nice
Okay,
blue water. I don't want to
yes.
see a brown.
A brown shithole, dude.
Yeah.
The
And I think
sewer-
I'm on your side there too. But other people like
No, of
like
course
the
people
seasons.
love the city. No, I love it. I miss the
They're like
city. also.
subjective.
They're-
It's
they're-
subjective.
I mean, trust me, I miss the city. I wish there was subway stops all around Miami where I
Oh
could
my
get
god!
in.
Yeah.
Wish.
Pop
What do we get?
Like, imagine going to Midtown and Brickell space.
We wouldn't
and then
take
going
no space
taking-
yet.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, we're going out, dude.
yeah, we got the space, and imagine they dropped us off in Crandon Park.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then like we
And then go to Donut Gallery, bro.
Donut Gallery, bro.
Oh, that'd be swaggy.
Like that would be
It's just a
chill.
story.
Wait, but so would you guys want to go back?
I mean,
Maybe.
I think yeah. I have no problem living up in Boston or in New York.
The thing is,
Like,
if I could work, like I don't know, if I could work remote with like New York Solid, I would. Then
Bro, what?
I
mean,
think
dude.
that's like very hard, you know. You
Yeah, I
find a
know,
company
yeah,
that can do
that-
that.
Honestly, bro.
If I could have more money living where I want.
yeah,
Come on.
I would live in Iowa.
No, but some people love it. Some people like
Yeah.
New York is great. I think if you're like in your 20s and you just have energy to work.
It's the whole thing that it's so young too that it's just
is
like
young.
you're doing more things. You're going out with people.
You're
your
walking
age.
a lot more.
You get motivated
Yeah,
just by
like-
walking in the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's like something about Miami. I
There's
don't know. I
an
had
energy to be cliche, but so if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't even think it's cliche. It gives you that vibe. Like you're there and you feel like, wow, I'm in New York. This is a huge place. Amazing
You're literally
things
an
that happen.
ant. You know,
Yeah.
in a
And
country.
everyone's doing something. Everyone's like walking towards something. Like,
Yeah, everybody's doing something.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving.
Nobody gives
even
a-
the homeless people are moving.
Yeah, even
they're
they're
talking something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
It is true that it's very subjective, dude. It's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
I mean, I think we're both on the same wave that like we wouldn't mind staying there a couple of years, but then end goal is
Miami.
back home.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
Just because I mean, another factor that comes into that is just like family and like being
Yeah.
close to
The
home.
move is
that's also
the official move.
The official.
The unofficial
Write it down.
The unofficial retirement
Take
move.
notes.
The unofficial retirement move people don't do is work in the United States. Work your ass off in the United States, make money, make all your stocks and all that. Go live in Europe for retirement and for the rest of your life. And maybe for a major surgery, come back to the United
Can
States.
you even do that though?
That's
Like,
not even.
like
I don't think that's the
you just
official.
hold your money over.
you don't
Like,
think so?
would you have to split time 6 months or like
You-
well, probably different?
Dude,
per
no,
country,
Andres,
hold
listen,
up, hold up.
listen to this
That's on
one.
a different boat.
The official move, if you really want to make it, because you're talking now about what, $2 million, and then you go to Europe and you have a nice life.
Oh yeah, you're a papi chulo if you're living in Europe with $2 million.
Okay, but
Same,
let
a
me tell
lot
you.
of Europeans
No,
are
no,
making
no.
more than Americans.
How about this? How
The
about
average
this?
American is richer than
Oh,
the
this
average
you get buddies with the politicians, right? You get an island, right? And you have politicians come in and out, and you're protected, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. And then unless you go to jail, and then you're
Well,
about to
what would
snitch.
you do on your private island, Pat? With the politicians?
Nothing illegal, that's for sure. That's
You
definitely
sure,
not.
bro?
Definitely not. I mean, we already spoke. The best way to build a city is to sell drugs. If you want to make it look like.
Pause.
Yo, pause.
Pause.
Let's come back.
Did you not say? Okay, so when you say,
I said Miami is built on shady money.
Exactly.
Like some drug money also.
look at Panama, that looks like Dubai, right? Which is what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all these cities. I mean, you really look at someone with like.
But then there's the opposite has look at the valley.
Okay, but then-
So,
Look at a guy with a. Look at a guy with.
tech money. That's
All right, look at a guy with a Bugatti.
You look.
Look at a guy with a Bugatti. What do you think when you see a
And
guy
you
with a
Tate have
Bugatti?
7 Bugattis.
Exactly. No, 13 actually. I think over 25, something like that.
the Andrew.
All right, you look at a guy with a
Yeah.
you look at a guy with a Bugatti. What do you think he's done for his job? Do you think that he went to New York and then he had like
Well, in Miami, I think he's renting the car.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think he's renting the car. In New York, I think this guy is like a billionaire.
Why would you have a Bugatti in New York, dude? If you drive a Bugatti,
I saw
in New York
Ferrari in
City,
New York, in the Bronx.
you suck, dude. You stink if you're buying that car in New York.
At least you can't take
The-
advantage
the-
of it.
the
Like, what
price-
like the
I'm
highways,
agreeing.
like the roads, like, you just
everything is
can't.
25% probably more expensive. The repairs, the maintenance of the
Why
car.
would you do it?
Like, why would you buy that car?
Makes no sense.
dude. We went there one weekend. I went to.
That's why a lot of
visit
people
you
have like
guys.
drivers.
I went to visit you guys, Ricky, and like I think your friend, who was it? I don't know if it was. I don't remember his name.
Who?
Not him. Not him. Alex or some shit. Alex, right?
They had a car.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Oh, it was Nick. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick.
2-3 days
Nick.
in New York. We got like 5 tickets, 5 parking tickets.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah,
5
yeah,
parking tickets in a weekend or some
Fuck.
shit like
How much
that.
are they in this?
Yeah, 'cause I think we were going down to like.
Was it in
I
Chinatown?
think we were going to your apartment. Yeah.
That's when you were so.
Definitely.
We were like trying to find parking, and then like we got like a ticket for one spot. Then we went to go eat. We got back on the ticket. Then we moved to his place. Got a ticket there. Then we went to like we went out to like a bar or something, or like somewhere else to get
How
like
much are the
dessert.
tickets?
Dude, they're probably like $70 each. Shout
What
out Nick
the
for eating those
fuck?
tickets.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude.
Like, parking tickets in Miami are like $35.
30, 35 then.
Yeah, no.
$70.
Dude, I don't know. I was asking you guys that because now that I was in New York for like a week, I had this idea before of like, I want
Going
to
to New
go
York,
up in
yeah.
New York. I want to go to New York, all this shit. But after that week, dude, I kind of deeped it and I was like, I don't know anymore.
You're also in Midtown, so like
Yeah, but I was spending most of the time either
Dude, but
in the
Marquez is also
apartment,
very
going
like.
down to the
I don't know. I feel like you can't take that bustle, dude. You can't
the
take
what the what.
It's like you can't take the hard knocks in New York. It's like,
Dude, yeah,
New
I mean,
York,
maybe that's what
like
it
those
is.
people.
Makes you
Are,
stronger
those
person.
people are the people that New York shoot and spit out.
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Like literally.
Dude, I don't know. It was expensive as fuck.
there, it's, like,
Taxes are
absolutely
crazy.
nuts.
The homeless people are nuts there. It smells like
But
shit.
that's entertainment almost.
No, relax.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but you
But like,
you're
I'm saying like,
you scream back
I'm
at
saying
them.
like when they're going nuts, when they're going like ape shit. When they're going
I
ape
know, I
shit.
don't like seeing that shit, man. I get nervioso, bro.
Like when they're funny when they're being friendly, like just like
They're
screaming.
never
and stuff.
friendly, dog. That's
So
my
sometimes
point.
when I was going to the Bronx, they'd be friendly sometimes. Like they'd just be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like just
Give
screaming.
them a beer or something. Yeah.
And not a beer, but like they'd just be like, "Yo, does anybody got a
Non-alcoholic.
drink? Anything?" I'm like, "All right, that's chilling." But
nothing
there's
better.
people that are just like doing nothing. I'm like,
There's nothing better. You end the night.
The homeless problem in New York
You
is
have
bad,
the night.
but in California it's worse.
The what problem?
Yeah.
The homeless problem.
Oh, Skid Row is a fucking. What is that?
It's not- like LA homeless, San Fran homeless people. Literally just you park a car for 5 minutes, get off, and like 2 of your windows are gone, and like
Dude,
your valuables.
I went to Philly last April. We left the car parked in a guarded parking. Guarded with a guard at the casita.
yeah.
2 hours. We came back, doors were open, all of our bags were open and run through. Like my mom's laptop was gone. The fuck, dude?
Yeah, and then
You didn't break the windows? How they open the door?
No, I don't know.
Left it
On
open.
God, they didn't.
Yeah, typical Marquina move. They left the doors open. Left it.
Honestly, typical. Like, realistically, yeah, bro.
Sure, yeah.
Dude, me and Andres have a fire story of our interactions with homeless people. Have you? I think you know. You probably don't.
the one here in Miami with
The one on 4th of July.
Yeah, I think we can skip that story.
Really?
That's skip.
Dude,
I think we
that's
can-
such a
I think
good
we can
story,
skip that
man.
Skip out.
Just say you heard of a story from one of your friends that it happened to him.
Hypothetical scenario now.
I think we'll skip that story. I think it's better said.
Yeah, it must be a good story.
Dude, in theory, it's a good one.
In practice,
Pay you off, Cam.
In there, yeah, in practice.
In practice, not so much.
theorem and practical.
Yeah, it's never the same, right?
Don't worry, we edit it out in post.
It's never the same.
Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's never edited. It's completely live.
Dude, so Caesar's going back to New York. He's gonna be here for 3 years. Luck.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people are. Well, actually, not that many people from Miami, but like, so most of my friends up there in New York, they're all gonna stay up there.
Yeah.
I mean, also, most of them are from the area, like Tri-State area.
All your boys are from there.
But I mean, from Miami, it's just like a few that make it up there. And then people that go to like great schools across the country tend to migrate to New York too, just because it's like
To New York.
it's New York. You know,
Yeah.
it's vibrant.
Lucas Alves was there. He was like,
He's there. I think he's still there. He's
No, he's not.
Shout out Lucas
I
Alves.
saw him at Armando's house.
Shout out a bunch of
man.
people here.
I saw him at Armando's house. He's
Should
done-
text
Shout out.
more views. Like, yo, we talked about you, but it's your job to find out where.
Everyone we mentioned, there's an affiliate link. You could just mention other people. You got a percentage. You know what I mean? It's like a pyramid, a pyramid scheme.
You know, but he worked hours.
Oh, for sure.
Hours.
Dude, Caesar couldn't see me. I was there
when
for 10 minutes.
F1 was when F1 McLaren made their sponsorship deal like public, and the F1 car was in the Goldman Sachs headquarters lobby. He posted a photo and it was like dope, and it was like 11:45, dude. It's just like they're grinding you up.
It's horrible, dude.
Just
It's horrible.
pushing you to them.
I mean,
and
also-
as an intern also, dude, you're
As
just
an
going,
intern,
dude.
Hinata has a full time.
Yeah, an analyst. You get an email at 3 in the morning from your MD.
Sundays working, Saturdays working.
Please fix.
16 hours a day.
Right, so this brings up a good point, like work-life balance. What is work-life balance? What is optimal work-life balance?
I think that's. I think
It depends on the person a lot.
Right? Okay, yeah.
And the city you're in, and what you like to do.
Okay, but realistically, even in the city you're in, should you be working until 11 o'clock at night sometimes?
Yeah, I mean,
It should be up
If you
to
like
you.
your
It should be
job,
up to
you
you.
like the.
Okay, but I'm saying like maybe every once in a while, I understand it. I will do that for my job if I love it every once in a while, but almost every
No, I
single
don't-
day of the week.
there's no such thing.
Okay, almost.
Over the year.
Every.
Yeah, every day
No, almost
basically.
there.
So, yeah, not almost.
PE, bro.
Basically every day, leaving the office at 11, not having free time, eating some like microwave mac and
Some
cheese.
gaga food, bro.
Like maybe
That's
watching
your life, dude.
maybe watching like a video.
Chill.
on
If
your
you're working
phone.
at a big place, you're gonna get.
Okay,
expense.
you're gonna get
Bueno, brother, but
you're gonna get
whatever
more money,
it
but
is,
guess
like-
what? It's gonna be taxed through the city, through the state, through the federal government.
Yeah, but throughout wherever you do.
No, but not in Florida. But, like some states,
Love
like especially in
Florida,
New York City. That's what I'm saying. Like the city has its own income tax,
Yeah.
so like it's like completely different.
Oh, you're talking about
compared
work-life balance in New York, not like in
I
general.
think
I'm
I'm
talking-
saying in
to-
general.
Oh, in general.
I'm talking about in general. Like, what is? So I was like kind of struggling with this over the summer, like because I was working some pretty gruesome hours, but
What were you putting in?
Like,
a week?
what hours
like,
are you leaving?
like 65 hours a week,
Yeah,
which is not like crazy. I know
Well,
people,
like what hours would you?
I know
leave
people
the
working
office?
like. So I'd get in at 9, probably leave around like 8ish, 9,
Really?
probably 9.
No, that much?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that when I was there, was it?
No, when you were there, that was a pretty chill week.
Right.
But dude, I was just like, when you get home from like work, like, what do you? First, not what do you do, but like kind of how do you have life? You know, like what is having a life to an extent, like where you just like you develop hobbies and do
No,
stuff.
there's no such thing. I
Like it's hard. It's hard.
I
when
don't-
you have,
I don't think
obviously,
so.
bro, we don't know shit. We just
Dude,
started
who-
working for full time.
All right,
Like,
look.
Yeah.
we just got our first glimpse of it. But
I don't
like,
think. Look,
I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's kind of hard to like have a life too if you're working like substantial
But for
hours.
me, I ended at like 4 or 5 sometimes, and it would be like I would go home, and I would just like once everybody was home, also we would just stay at someone's house. But especially through July, since everybody had like open crib, we just go to someone's house and crack some brews, just like talk about work, talk about the day.
yeah, but that can be like. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's all proportional to whatever goal you have. So work-life
True.
balance. Like, all right, do you want to have $1 billion? Okay, no work-life balance. There's no the path towards $1 billion is just work.
Yeah.
There's no life balance.
Yeah,
like
sure.
your work is your life. If it depends what your goal is. If your goal is to retire in Europe and 50 years old, you can have a little bit of work-life balance. You can have something. You know what I mean? So it's all proportional. If like right now we're gonna tell you, yeah, I want to be hyper successful. I want to do these things. I want to like change the world. That's it. Like your whole life is that, and you can see that in history with everyone who's actually
But
done
for my
anything meaningful.
business, I would be putting in the hours to the ultimate extreme to push it to the extreme. But when I'm working also at like, you're making good money, obviously at Golden, even at a low level position. But like, I would just be like, I'm a grunt in the system. I am just a part in the machine for them. I am like literally expendable to them. They don't give a fuck. I'm going to make $1 billion. I'm going to make my own business, and then either sell it on the long run or build it to an actual conglomeration.
I think that's when working 70, 80 hours a week is not worth it.
But then you're
not working towards anything. It's something bigger than you, and you're just a piece.
Well, you're getting experience, and you're learning, you're growing with this place.
And that's why people do it, and that's why it's a
good
thing to do for 2 or 3
years. Too long. Like, I would understand 2-3 years of grinding it out, and I'd be like, perfect, and then move on to another industry. But there's people that go, and they're like 10, 15 years deep into it, and they're still grinding out crazy hours. I'm like, bro, you have aged 30 years in those 15.
That's why it depends on the person, though.
Like, there's some people.
If you like, there's the 1% of people that like that shit that really truly enjoy it.
Oh, there's workaholics.
That's why it depends on the person.
There's definitely workaholics that love doing the entire thing.
Elon Musk is a workaholic. Like, I'd say he's one of the.
But he has his own thing going. He doesn't work for anyone.
No, yeah, he's a workaholic.
But also, he's not like
towards himself.
Like you could say he might be the smartest guy in there, but he's also not. Like,
definitely, he's not.
He's not the smartest.
Yeah, like if he's working with like a team of engineers, like they're probably laughing.
Dude, the engineers are definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously, I think this should be common knowledge. Like, it's not like he's building the rocket.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not building the mechanics.
He's pushing the idea that he wants.
Yeah,
I want a rocket that takes off and lands.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you $5 billion.
I have some knowledge of it, but like, you guys are gonna take the main thing.
And he probably helps too. I mean,
he definitely helps.
He's a smart guy.
He knows.
He's definitely a smart guy.
He knows his stuff. He's definitely not like. Well, he's the lead designer, so like he can probably design the rocket.
That's like saying like DJ Khaled's like the executive producer on Drake. You know, like,
okay, but he made the foundation.
That's where they listen to Drake.
He sent the car into space, bro. This motherfucker.
Dude, so was that? What's that? It's got the Roadster, right?
Space is not.
Yeah, he sent the old.
Yeah. So I heard Cybertruck is currently coming out.
Is it a dome, bro?
It's a dome. It's a dome.
Like the truck coming out at the end of this year, and then like early next year. But I haven't heard shit about the Roadster. What's up with? Do you know anything about that?
The Roadster, I think, is coming out also.
Dude, did you guys see? Did you see the competitor? The competitor of
Lucid. Lucid, right?
No, the
Rivian.
Oh, dude, Rivian's cool.
No,
I like those Rivian trucks.
it's a scam. It's like a scam. They did it like Lucid.
We'll drive Lucid.
No, was it Lucid?
I think it was.
And they did the truck.
The truck was rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
What is it?
Lucid.
What about it?
Yeah.
They had a semi truck that was all electric, and then in their video, but it was realistically rolling down a hill.
Yeah, and
like, making a fake promotion saying that it has like.
I think the CEO.
Literally, they pushed it down the hill. And
The CEO got fired and sued by the SEC for $120 million.
Yeah, for defrauding investors.
Yeah, because they were
So it was like a fake car. It didn't have an engine or anything.
It had the batteries just didn't work properly.
They were selling it as if it was ready to go on the road, and then they got hella like investments on it, and then it was just like misleading investors. So, yeah.
Why do people do that shit? Like, it's just whatever.
Because that's how people make money. Like, I feel like the correct path.
So what level? Yeah.
Papo, dude, sin ir más allá, who's the girl that we went to St. Agnes with, bro?
Who?
That the dad got. Oh, wait, what is that shit? This guy on the key, with him, it was him and 2 other people. Got roped. I don't think it was insider trading. I think it was defrauding.
Defrauding investors. Yeah, they were defrauding investors.
The 3 of them got fucking roped. This guy to sell a house. He's facing 70, bro. Dude, people that we grew up with. Like,
he's still like 80. He's still like, I think personally, like 75, 80 million dollars.
That is so much money for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, even if you're greedy, like, there's people that depend on you. Like, you have a family. The guy has 4 or 5 kids. Like, what are you doing this defrauding people shit? Like, dude, grow the fuck up.
And especially the one thing the United States will always hit you with: if you defraud investors, they will fuck you over.
Yeah,
that's so counterintuitive, because you literally look at like, oh yeah, you're doing something wrong, you're defrauding this, while they're fucking you on their fucking, you know what I mean? CIA is initiating projects like fucking MK Ultra or all the other things that you've just said that they're funding.
But like, you know what I mean? CIA does their own thing, regardless of what the SEC or any other
CIA.
Everyone is knowledgeable. Nancy Pelosi with insider.
That's also like, again, in my part with like the CIA does fucked shit, but like, I feel like they're always doing.
Didn't the CIA kill Kennedy?
Yo.
I don't know they did.
Okay, let's get that cut.
Andres, confirm or deny
Hey, don't worry, dude, don't worry. We're gonna turn on the ignition tonight when we all leave on that car. There's gonna be an explosion.
Who knows?
Two gunshots in the back of the head. Roll the suicide.
Yeah, bro.
I read about that, about some guy the other day that he was trying to expose the CIA for funding a drug group that was selling drugs in the States that was retaliating against the Nicaraguan government. Against the Sandinistas? What are they called?
Sandinistas,
Yeah.
Sandinistas or
Sandinistas. And this fucking guy that was trying to expose the CIA for it, a couple months later, suicide, 2 shots to the back of the head. What kind of suicide is that, man? What are we doing?
That's the American
I'm
suicide.
sorry, but like, that's
Got
also,
suicide.
that's also like, again, that goes back to our conversation, necessary evil. Like the CIA is doing that so they can continue doing the operation to fuck over the Nicaraguan.
Dude, but there's no end to that because if you need to get to an evil, like you need to rationalize it. It's like saying like if you go back in time right
Okay,
now,
but it's like,
if you go
we
back in time
funded-
right now, do you kill baby Hitler?
No,
Why not?
because
a
then
necessary
you don't
evil.
understand. No, because you don't understand.
no?
Clip that.
You don't understand, Jamie. You don't understand the consequences.
He likes Hitler.
No, I do not. You don't understand the consequences.
Nazi.
Like, no, I don't agree with anything he did. I'm saying you don't understand the consequences it can lead to of like
butterfly effect.
Like,
Yeah.
Stalin now he's just becomes then the Hitler of our World War II,
Right.
and then Europe is a way bigger bloodbath than it was. Or like,
There's a hilarious
or like the
video on-
technology just doesn't advance as quick, and we go to the moon
Can't
in
be
the
that funny.
80s and
There's
90s.
Did we go to the moon in '69?
Yes,
Confirmed.
Yes.
Okay, Andres,
I think
can you
we
confirm or deny?
I think we did.
Because that's another.
We're gonna go to the
that's another
80s.
conspiracy.
We're sending a rocket around the moon in 2 weeks.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Are we going to Mars? When are we
No,
gonna?
yeah, I know, but the NASA's sending.
Mars is so far away.
We gotta, dude. When Elon
When
launches
we're our
this
parents'
shit to
age,
Mars-
we're gonna have. We're gonna be going on the moon, like for space vacation.
Oh, now I was gonna say when
Think so?
Elon sends it to Mars, we have to go watch the rocket launch. It's
like-
probably gonna leave from Cape Canaveral.
No, yeah, I know.
I don't think it's from Texas.
We know it's gonna. It might be from Cape
Maybe,
Canaveral
really?
because they built it. Dude, they're gonna do Cape Canaveral because it's,
Dude, let's go. Let's
they're
go
gonna,
to Cape
he's
Canaveral.
gonna do Pad 39A where they launch from the moon. He's definitely gonna do that. The main rocket with the carrying the astronauts is gonna be
Yeah.
from Cape Canaveral. Like they
should
might
go
send other rockets from
From
Texas,
Texas, yeah.
like the cargo
What's it called?
rockets.
It's called like Starship.
Yeah, the starships. They might send the cargo
The
rockets.
Starbase. That's the base. And
That's such a
Texas.
badass name, dude.
Yeah.
Starship.
The starship and then
Lit.
starbase.
Some interstellar.
Dude, no, that's what I'm saying. Like we have to go because it's probably gonna be packed with like 2 million, 3
Yeah, that's like a life. What do you call it? Like a life.
like that's an event.
That's like an event.
That's a historical altering event.
Yeah.
If we make it to Mars, dude, like that would be for us what the moon landing was for our parents.
Dude, but I think even bigger.
But one making it, and
once
then two
humans
colonies.
become like
Well, not colonies, but like
That's gonna take a longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because you have to terraform it first. That
Yeah,
takes
exactly.
You hear his idea of nuking both poles and then
Heard about
creating the
that.
atmosphere?
yeah,
I didn't
but I think
get
that's a
what
little
was he
bad.
cooking with that?
there was like a whole another idea was like just having like a large mirror on top of Mars,
Yeah.
so it could just like heat up the atmosphere.
Realistically, what we should
Which is
do
like
is
who knows how real the science
What
is.
are
you know how we want to
I mean,
become.
he said that on the No Voice podcast. Like
You know how we
You
want
know
to
boys?
become all
Yeah.
green.
Maybe he'll be on this
On there?
podcast one day.
maybe
You know how we want to become
One
all
day.
efficient and green on Earth.
Who?
Like Elon
Like-
Musk and all these people like
Yeah.
want to become like clean. The funny thing is, we can be super polluted in Mars to actually help the atmosphere get thicker.
Yeah.
Because
But we
like,
want it to get thicker with healthy things, right? Not
No.
like gaga things.
no, but like carbon dioxide is like still the same shit.
As oxygen?
No, but it's the same. It's the same thing that thickens our atmosphere now, dude.
Right. But no, I get that. But do we want it thick with like shit that we don't breathe, or do we want it thick with?
Well, I think it won't be bad until it starts obviously over becoming in the atmosphere. Like
Yeah.
it's over bad.
We'll send the what's it called, the global warming people after the scientists. Yeah, but
Dude.
that is a great like because if you're going to Mars, then you're not coming back.
no, probably not.
Not-
Would you guys go?
The first mission, probably not.
No, not
There's too many great things on this earth
Did
that
you
I have
go?
not seen.
Dude,
Depends
but
how old
you're
I am.
going on Mars.
That,
They say
You're
today.
seeing shit.
today,
Nobody's ever seen.
There's the whole thing that if you go to Mars, like gravity. Like
You go in?
It's 1/3 of
You ever go to Mars?
Exactly. So by the time you come back, your bones are automatically just like fucked.
They're not fun.
Did you go to Mars? Andy?
People go to
there's
space.
ways.
People go to space all the time, and their bones are fine.
No, dude, but like Mars is far.
There's zero
Dude, but
gravity.
you do the. They have
No.
Bro, you
they have a gym where they it tethers you down to the treadmill and you're running to like have bone force to like continue your bones.
Yeah,
I don't think I do.
astronauts come back and they're fucked up for a while.
Oh yeah, like they feel like different after the gravity coming back to Earth. But dude, they're fucking in 0 G for a year. That's why.
Yeah.
Dude, can you
Like,
pay
my
to do
stuff,
like
yeah.
a zero gravity?
Yeah, Blue Origin does it. Wait, zero gravity or like
Like
going
you
to-
know those tubes they put like Stephen Hawking and
Well, there's like planes and stuff that you can
Yeah,
like,
there's-
go, you
yeah.
can go to like the point. I think
no, but they have tubes that are like grounded that do like zero gravity.
I
I've
don't
never
know.
seen
Did you pay for that shit?
That'd be dope.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably pay
So
for it.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
I could, yeah.
They'll probably
I
make
think
it
you just
cheaper.
know. I don't. I think
How
what
do
you're
you
talking.
know?
I think what you're talking about. I think what you're talking about is a vacuum, dude. And it creates a
No, because a
vacuum.
vacuum doesn't have oxygen.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what you're confused with.
No, I'm not confused. I've
You
seen
sure?
videos of Stephen Hawking floating around in this fucking.
Because he may be in one of those, like, one
You
of
might
those
be on the plane that looks
the
like.
planes that goes to like the stratosphere or something.
I don't think so because I think it's like I'll look it up a video of it after, but I want to try that.
I saw a video of the Sidemen doing that. You guys know the Sidemen?
Yeah,
Who's that?
It's like a group from
it's like a group from like London.
YouTubers. Like they were just like.
It's like
floating.
KSI and his like squad.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Squad, man.
Damn, I was gonna ask you guys something. I agreed.
squadrons.
So I've been pretty cool. You guys ever like watch the videos or anything?
Oh, have you guys gone skydiving?
No, we'll not do that for a while.
No way, really. What about you,
I don't think
Jordan?
so.
No.
You?
I haven't. We're gonna go, bro, in January. Ryan, let's do it.
Sorry,
Why in,
Ryan,
Why in January?
shout out
I
Ryan.
think that's when
Ryan skydives every first day of the year.
Oh, that's like his thing now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
what?
he's done it for like 2 years already.
Okay, wow, bro, for real?
Yeah.
Damn, I want to do it with him.
I want to do it for first.
Yeah, we should have gone.
Didn't you go
we should have
skydiving
gone from
with,
Gabby's house.
Wow, the first time Ryan
Teacher?
went out, we were with him, with Vasquez.
We should have gone from Gabby's house to the airfield
I don't get it.
on New Year's Eve. On New Year's Day.
Oh,
Gabby's house.
yeah. Good.
That was a
funny.
great night. Dude.
That was a
Yeah.
fun night.
That was a
It was. It started off as a shit mess, bro.
I think it was honestly good the entire time.
Really?
Like it was a little mess at the beginning, but then like Adrian's house got funny. The photo of you with the mosaic with me.
No, that was
That was
that
you.
was your
I
photo.
think- I took the photo. No, you took that photo. It was the mosaic.
No, I mean like when we got to the beach and like 300 people pulled
The
up.
cop showed up.
That's when I was like, dude, this fucking New Year's is gonna fold. And then Gabi Cuadra, shout out Gabi Cuadra, she probably won't watch this. It was like the most clutch of all time, dude.
Yeah.
It was lit.
And the savior.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, what were we talking about? Skydiving,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
the
First day of the
their
year.
evils. I don't know. What's the craziest experience you guys had?
my wife.
Dude, top one, that's far.
Like no, like I'm talking about adrenaline rush, like skydiving, some shit like that.
Shit.
Biking, hiking in like some crazy spot, maybe bungee jumping. Is it on that?
Skydiving was a big one.
Either watching.
Riding a Vespa around town.
Watching Iniesta score in 2010.
Watching a pack of lions rip a gazelle to shreds live
In
Did you see that?
in South Africa.
Jeez.
Or probably diving with sharks in South
Did it
Africa.
make you feel a little primal? Did you feel like, oh shit, I should jump in there?
I want to rip
Dude,
up
I was
this.
like, dude, it was kind of crazy seeing a wild animal, like especially now that I have a cat.
Dude, cats are ready to go.
Dude, cats are ready.
Cats will, dude.
This is a feline owner right here.
Cats, if you, that's what
I
heard this story.
Shout out to the X.
I heard the story.
Shout out to the X.
What else,
My
Cap?
ex-girlfriend, I got me a cat.
Oh shit! I was gonna say, bro, cats, like firefighters. I heard the story online that when like an old person dies and then they, like they'll be at home for like 2 weeks.
That's
before anyone-
eating it, bro.
The cats will start eating the body, whereas like dogs will just die next to it.
Yeah, they'll die next to it. The cat's like, bro, survive.
I mean, I think I get the communist thing came out. I think I get the cat stuff, bro. Like you're an animal, you kind of gotta survive, dude.
Can you pin it back?
I mean,
The
yeah.
thing is, but cats are way less domesticated. Dogs are way more domesticated. Not to be like, yo, that's my dog. Like,
I want to have a leopard.
It's not human right there. He just died.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Like a cat just looks at it like,
Yeah, I think Actually,
I think mine was
the crazy experience I've had, like seen with my own eyes. Not that I've done, well, I did it, but so I was in Alaska. I want to say 2014, and we went on like a whale watching cruise. But we were like cruising past some island, and we saw like I want to say 10 grizzly bears on the beach, just like looking for food. But then on top of that, we saw like a bunch of eagles just circling the island, and it was like I want to say like 20, 30 eagles.
Big motherfuckers.
Big motherfuckers. And we were like right there cruising off the coast, and we just saw them right there, and it was like insane. But like actually, adrenaline-based thing that I've done, I want to say probably like river rafting in like Colombia on like I think it's like I forgot the level of rapids, but like it was like a high rapid level when I was like a couple years ago.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were in danger?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
One time like we're cruising like all fine, then all of a sudden we're like face up, like we're all like leaning back, like what's going on, and like the current's going full stream, like it's crazy stuff.
Dude, my aunt had like a near-death experience river rafting.
Yeah, dude, it's
She
crazy.
fucking flew off the thing, and she was in the water, like spinning, like whoa, like that.
Shit.
Bro, and she said like she was freaking out at first, but then you know how they say like the light at the end of the tunnel, like
Yeah.
you feel like it's a release and shit. She's probably told you about it.
Yeah.
She said that, dude, when it was like a while in, she just felt like at peace.
Oh yeah.
Like everything is, you know, I'm gonna die. She like accepted it. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna die.
She was down under the water.
Under the water. Fucking
Dude, those rapids are crazy, man. They put you.
I remember my dad in Iceland. Like he went under the water. My brother also, and they were down there for like 3-4 seconds, and they're like,
That's
am I really about to die under here right now? Like,
Why did they go in the water? Just for like a polar.
no, we were also on the rapids. Like
Oh,
we were like doing whitewater rafting.
Wait, so when you went right now, was your second time in Iceland?
Yeah.
It kind of happened to my brother too when we were sailing in Italy. We were just like we had like the sailing class we were doing, and we were both in the same boat, and we weren't good. So then when we were returning, like I think we kind of flipped the whole boat, and I got up straight away, but he was stuck in the boat, and it was there for like a couple seconds, and like comes up like breathing. But yeah,
That was like, but you probably take that breath and you're like, oh,
yeah,
shit, I actually lived. Like,
yeah. Nah, it's
I'd love to
crazy.
tell a story.
what's the craziest thing you've done, Pat? What do you think is up?
I think the craziest experience that I've had, like rush, I guess, was like when I just moved to Miami. I was like 10 years old, and I used to live in Miami Beach. There was like an apartment. It's not like a crazy experience; it's just a crazy story. But I used to live in an apartment, 26 floors up, 26 floor tall building, and me and my friend, which is like some guy, another Italian guy, we used to be complete idiots, and we just spend the time just doing shit, random shit, like. So we found a way to get on the roof of the apartment, on the apartment building.
Outside of my...
And so what we do is we start doing like parkour at 10 years old on top of the roof of the building. And so me and my brother and this guy are doing it, and then we hop on one of the sides where there's like a platform under. And so my brother jumps, my friend jumps, and me, because I want to be like cool, I jump and then I do like a, you know, like the parkour flip again. And I fall. I fall off the roof. I land on the penthouse balcony. So
What the fuck,
Oh my
dude?
God.
I land on the penthouse balcony
What the fuck?
on a pile of yoga mats. On a pile of yoga mats. Like, no joke. I'm not even lying. No tablet. A pile of yoga mats on the penthouse balcony. If I were to fall instead, like to the left, to the right, like on the other sides, 26 floors. But I land on this. The guy, he's an Italian guy in the penthouse. He sees a guy, like a little kid, fall from the sky, right? My brother, who's like 7 years old, runs back to my apartment. He like opens the door. My parents are there. He says, because he's 7 years old, he's like, Patricio's dead. He died. Patricio died, dude. So my parents are like,
What the
holy
fuck,
shit.
dude?
They run. Fucking, it's some crazy shit. They go, the penthouse guy like lets me in the house, and he like, my parents open the door, and he's pissed on my parents. He's like, how do you let this happen? But yeah, that's definitely one of the craziest experiences that I've ever had.
What do you guys think is like something crazy you guys want to do? Like, what's like a bucket list event you guys want to do?
Skydive is up there.
Dude, I think I want to go like. So for me, I'll start off. I think for me, it's going to the Great Barrier Reef and like just swimming with some like great whites, posting out there, just seeing.
I want to swim
Like
with
dangerous,
whales.
but like I think it'd be like
No, I can't do that. That's just like
Out on the
something is wrong about
one
that.
of the big mountains.
Top 7,
Yeah.
one of the 7.
Yeah, with Kilimanjaro, one of them.
Didn't your dad want to do that?
He is gonna do that.
gonna
Like, he
do it?
really wants to do it.
Go with him,
Cool.
dude.
I look he do, bro. But I gotta get like a little bit more fit.
Yeah.
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 I gotta get a little more endurance.
Yeah. Estoy trabajando.
Mm.
Dude, I think swimming with manta rays.
Oh, like the big man.
Yeah.
Dude, those are
Manta rays and whale sharks are two big ones for me. I guess you can lump those under one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
just-
it's a cool thing.
Whale sharks aren't dangerous, right?
No, dude, my friend, you know Bruno. You met Bruno,
Yeah.
right? He's in the Maldives right now. He just went. He just went
Maldives?
scuba diving.
Maldives.
Maldives.
The most,
Yeah, I'm
Maldives. Because you
in the
died.
Maldives right now,
I'm a little fee.
and he's diving with. Dude, he just went diving with tiger sharks, and he texted me like, "Dude, he's in shock at how big those fucking animals are."
The adrenaline rush, like when you get back, you're like, must be like
Yeah,
insane.
that should be nuts.
Yeah, anything that brings you close to like you
You're
thinking
near
that
death.
you're gonna die is
Makes you
just
feel more alive.
yeah. And you see people take
Yeah,
appreciate
the
life more.
adrenaline, dude. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know, your body reacts. It's like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
those
like people have are adrenaline junkies, like when they all like people that are doing like the things, they're like right on the mountain, the squirrel jumping,
The wingsuit.
Yeah, no,
wingsuit,
that's insane.
and they're like right on the edge of the mountain and right near the like tip of the trees on the forest. Like dude, they just love that. They're like,
Didn't you
they're
see
like
the guy-
they're literally inches or feet away from death. Dude, they know they fuck up, they're dead.
There was a guy who went through a hole in the mountain.
Saw it.
You guys saw that video?
Yeah.
There's like stairs leading up to it. and
Yeah.
it's
Is it called like steroid death or something? Or stuff? I think the name is it's called like steroid to death or something.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, that.
It's a good song,
That's a great song.
but
What about you? What do you think?
You said Kilimanjaro.
Oh, it's Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, probably be, I don't know, either climb one of those mountains or I don't know, like I'd love to race like a car on a track.
But dude, that's like,
Like that's obviously like
yeah, that's gonna happen. I think. Something crazy, you know.
just give
Like,
it that.
mountain fair.
Yeah, you could pay. You could pay and just do that shit tomorrow.
yeah.
I go to.
Well, you can also pay to be with a whale shark in the water, dude.
Yeah, but that's more of like a mystical,
Please,
like
dude,
dope
you-
experience. dude.
please,
you can't
yeah,
compare
I-
a car to a fucking whale shark. dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in an F1 car.
No, you can't compare it.
No.
It's mechanical. This is natural. It's organic.
But
It's part of the
naturally,
universe.
Alright.
It's a man-made shit. Like the mountain, you can compare.
Yeah, I guess.
That's different, bro.
Well, I've already been to the tip of Africa, so I can't say the tip of Africa.
It's a random thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the tip.
Sorry, bro.
I was gonna say I did want to go to the tip of Africa, but I'm like, wait, I have to.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually really dope, crazy. Like seeing, like, dude, the waves are crazy. The wind's nuts. Like you're literally probably 100, 200 miles away from Antarctica.
You said you went scuba diving there, or you went
I
diving? with
went
sharks?
diving into
Like in a
cage,
cage?
like a cage. Yeah.
What with gray whites?
Yeah.
I don't know. You
On
did that.
Seal Island. Like
Fuck.
we're like Shark Week type
that.
shit.
How old are you?
Like 14, 15.
How big were those things?
Dude, they were like,
How
they were
many
like
did those
13,
things
14 feet. Dude, they were huge, bro. And they would be banging on the side of our boat, throwing chum in our cage, bro. They would attract the
What happens if one just gets in? Like,
Dude,
A
well,
little too
dude,
close.
I need to run the GoPro footage. Like one of the nose of the great work like pokes into the cage and then like,
Dude, I
it's
like
like
that kind
starts
of shit.
shaking the cage and then moves off.
have you guys seen the videos of like people like taming like the shark? Where they like flip it on its side,
Fuck that, dude.
like put it to sleep.
Yeah,
Did
they,
you see
yeah,
that movie?
they paralyze the baby.
Yeah.
Did you see 47 meters, 47 feet under?
I haven't watched it.
It's about these people that they're in a shark cage. The coastal snaps, bro, and they just boom plummet. A weird movie, shitty production.
They
but-
wouldn't really live. Like, yeah, but I gotta be a nitpick.
Oh no, they all died.
I'm thinking if you drop like
47 meters, you're dead. 47 feet.
yeah, maybe you'll be fine. But if you drop 47 meters, but without like calibrating,
It's 140 feet. Like
Yeah.
you're dead man like that.
Yeah.
But they have scuba gear.
the pressure.
That's
would
good.
get,
Yeah, that's why.
yeah,
That's why they survived.
the pressure. Would get,
That reminds me
That's why
of
I
like,
survived for a little bit.
reminds me.
For a bit.
and that's how they get. They stretch it to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that movie that's like, what is it, 127 hours?
Yeah,
Get
with,
to cut his fucking.
Yeah. Would you guys be able to do that? You think?
I think when you're in that mode, you
after
kind of
like
don't have a
3-4
choice.
days.
Animal
Yeah, after like 3 days, 4 days of just like
It's like fuck it.
I don't know. Some people.
I got it. Your survival instinct probably kicks in. It's like
I have
It's
to.
like,
It's this
uh,
or I'm dead.
I forgot the quote in the movie, but it's like, what would he like? Would a dog gnaw off its own leg if it gets stuck in the trap? Like an animal gnaw off its own leg to survive to get out of the trap.
Probably would.
Like
There's actually an
It's
interesting.
like you gotta continue.
There's
You
an
can't just
interesting.
get stuck there.
There's like an interesting study. Guys, I'm gonna butcher this. I forgot where they put like it keep happening when they put like some food in like a jar for monkeys, and then they easily trap the repeatedly trap the monkey because it would go for the food and then its hand would get stuck.
Oh, the
It's
salt.
The
monkey with
salt.
salt, yeah.
Yeah.
They would never learn.
So the monkey, so it's a jar that you can stick your hand in like this, but the second you grab something, you can't pull it out, right?
And they'd be stuck there. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're so greedy and like dumb that they just
They always
keep doing
put
Was
it.
it apes or just like regular
No.
monkeys?
I forgot exactly what species it was or whatever.
You can let go of the
Hey,
salt.
yeah, you can let
Just
go.
pull your hand
So it
out.
never learned.
No.
Shit like that. I don't remember how.
No, they just wouldn't let go. They wouldn't let go of the
Yeah,
salt.
I'm saying never learned. They never learned to just like go.
No, it's
But then so the point was never to achieve the salt.
The point was to see if the monkeys are dumb enough to just leave the
Continue,
fucking
yeah.
salt alone.
Or smart
Or-
enough. to
Right,
leave
right.
the salt.
Smart enough
Just
to
not
leave the
take the
fucking
salt.
salt alone, or dumb enough to just keep.
Continue.
yeah. It's like it was like a point on like investigating like kind of the motivational.
Dude, the only monkeys I would be funding research for realistically are bonobos and apes. And gorillas, maybe.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
Orangutan.
No, I'm saying gorillas. I'm saying research them. I'm saying like look into their social habits, but they're the three most advanced ones closest to humans.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos of the apes or the bonobos? I forgot.
I think bonobos are more related to us.
Yeah,
than
bonobos
apes,
are the closest related.
because they're very social compared to apes.
Have you seen the videos of them doing the memory tests?
Yeah, where it's just like that. And they're
Oh, where they
pointing
tap
at
the
it.
dots and then they
Yeah.
do it in this particular order. Yeah,
Have you seen that? That's crazy.
Yeah. they're
Well,
smart.
that's one of the theories is that like those species like they retain the short term memory, and we kind of converted that brain space into language.
long term.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
the language.
Yeah, so we developed that same space
Okay.
in the brain into language, and they just retain like short term memory. So they have just a way better short term memory.
Dude, I feel like they will advance eventually, especially now with human help. Like we're gonna definitely probably push their
Like some Planet of the
evolution.
Apes shit.
Yeah, like
What's that guy's name? Simon? What's the name of the
I'm
monkey?
pretty sure.
no, like Caesar.
Oh,
Caesar.
Caesar.
oh, Caesar.
Once we see like an ape with a gun, and we know it's it.
That's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd say more when they build their own tool all of a sudden in the technology.
When they do that, you see, I feel like.
Okay, but
sword
they've
comes
used
out.
like they've used like rocks. Like, they sharpened rocks. Like that's very early primitive human.
Oh, yeah, what do you want him to build? Like a rubber, like a
I know, but
slingshot?
imagine like
Bart
like a
Simpson.
slingshot, like they're fighting.
Chill. Slow
Like,
down.
they-
I wonder what a
Arrows.
monkey war looks like. Like one clan of monkeys against another one.
Have you seen
Have you seen-
2001 Space Odyssey?
Well, dude, no, screw that.
They
Dude, have
blast
you
this
seen?
motherfucker
You did
to
the
that.
Discovery Channel video. I wish there was a Jamie here. I'd be like, pull that up real quick.
What's it called?
It's dude, it's like a 5-10 minute video.
Can you
It's
actually
like-
pull
I don't know. I'm just trying to show them.
No, yeah, you can show it later though, like or just watch it yourself.
What is it?
Dude, it's like on the Discovery Channel on YouTube. It's like a colony of like 120 chimps in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and they literally have a colony set up with like structures, and they go to war with other apes around the area. They have like a 50-mile radius of their controlled zone.
Congo with a C.
Shit.
Yeah.
So they just have like their own like little like civilization there.
Yeah, they don't sit. Yeah, dude. They hunt smaller monkeys, like
Like smaller, like little,
yeah, very big,
yeah.
like the small monkeys that are not really that smart compared to those like, monkeys.
Yeah.
Dude. And they hunt them, they corner them on the tree, and they rip them apart, start
Just
handing them
kill them.
limbs, like. Dude, they are
Pretty
like
gruesome.
great. They're starting to eat meat way more often, so it's just like them pushing them like that, like get more evolution.
Eating meat more often.
Yeah,
Dude, I would like to go see a gorilla in person. Like I always see in the zoo, like
It's not the same.
not the same,
Not
but
nearly
like
the same.
would like to see like the gorilla out in the wild.
have you seen that video with the guy?
Is that the
like
this
this?
one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that one. Everyone can see
Yeah.
it.
There's a video of a guy, like a tourist in like Congo or something, and he's like the gorillas are there. And he's
Oh, it's a recent one that where
and
he
he's just like that, and then there's just a huge like male gorilla like that, just like right in front of him, and like the little kids are playing, like trying to play with him. And he's like, I do not want to play with you. Please get away from me before your fucking dad kills me.
Yeah.
We're at like 145,
Oh,
so it didn't feel like that long.
Yeah, it didn't.
it felt like an hour, 20 hours.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
after that.
let's get to two.
You want to hit two?
I need to pee. I need to take a piss.
I need to take a pee too. That's why.
We can take turns.
Do you guys have anything you guys want to tell the internet?
Be nice to people.
Yes. Yes.
We need more of that.
There's a necessary.
And learn also how to be a centrist, not an extremist.
There's no such thing. You're just a right wing lunatic.
Hey, so the socialists, the Marxist socialists at the beginning.
You started with the Marxist. And you, all right.
Oh yeah, I think that was a fun episode.
Yeah. Fun episode. All right, that's it. Be nice to people.
Be a centrist.
Be a centrist. And all right. Thank you for listening.
Lit, bro.
Talking apes.